Can we talk about us like we care about us? Can we talk about us like we care about love? You say let it breathe, but this pain of my heart can't let it be. We both can agree. Tell me what is the point of nothing burns like the cool days. Can we talk about us like we care about us? Can we talk about us like we care about love? We can let it be, 'cause we live in a time of make-believe. We both can agree that we're reaching the point of nothing burns like the cool days.
Good morning, darling. I see you falling in and out of love. Is it because you're cold and heartless, or is it all withdrawals? Forgotten how to be a part of that final scene in Casablanca. I guess the heart is like a time bomb. No white horse for you to ride on. Bygones be bygones. My God, you're beautiful. If it was two of you, probably break the first one's heart in two, but second time the charm. I had a dream. You lock your father's arm and mosey down the alleyway. I know you probably had a wild day, so you should make your way to my place, and we can talk about the things you want to talk about.
You know, I know, you know, yeah, yeah. You know, I know, you know. Nothing burns like the cool days. Nothing burns like the cool days. Nothing burns like the cool days. They say nothing burns like the Can we talk about us like we care about us? Can we talk about us like we care about love? You say let it breathe, but this pain of my heart can't let it be. We both can agree. Tell me what is the point of nothing burns like the cool days.
darling? I see you falling. In and out of love, is it because you're cold and heartless? Or is it all withdrawals? Forgotten how to be a part of that final scene in Casablanca. I guess the heart is like a time bomb. No white horse for you to ride on. Bygones, be bygones. My God, you're beautiful. If it was two of you, probably break the first one's heart in two. But second time the charm, I had a dream. You lock your father's arm and mosey down the alleyway. I know you probably had a wild day, so you should make your way to my place, and we can talk about the things you want to talk about.
You know, I know, you know, yeah, yeah. You know, I know, you know. Nothing burns like a cold day, day. Nothing burns like a cold day, day. Nothing burns like a cold day, day. They say nothing burns like a
Mic check. Let's do a mic check. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Mic check. Can you hear me now? Let's do this. Mic check. Can you hear me? There we go. Good now. So you didn't hear you didn't hear my intro? You didn't hear my beat? Y'all didn't hear that? Can you hear it? Let's go. So y'all can hear me now. Hey, listen. Excuse me. I'm still under the weather. I appreciate you guys being here. For the ones that are here, the few and two that are here, I thank you. Listen, it's going to be a short show today. My cough has gotten worse. I'm not feeling good today. So I'm gonna give you all I got. And now it's a sound delay. Are we good now? Can you hear me? Are we good now? Can you guys hear me good now? Is it clear? Someone let me know if it's clear or not. Give me a thumbs up or a yay or a no or it sounds horrible or bro, take that shit back. Something. Let me know something. Thanks, Ed. Ed Dixon says clear. Dominique want to argue. She say I got COVID. Yeah, hear you. Thanks, cuz Stephanie. AP says thumbs up. Dominique thumbs up. Sean D. Nutter says it's clear. Sean D. Nutter, I ain't seen no pictures of you and the missus in the gym. I told you I was gonna go in on y'all if I didn't see no pictures in the gym. It's 2024. Get at it, homie. Get at it. Don't let me find out y'all been skipping. Don't let me find out that y'all black excellence been skipping in that gym. Don't let me find out. We're gonna do a whole show on it. All right, brother. Or don't let me find out she going and your ass staying at home. Don't let me find that out. She over there throwing that weight ball by herself and don't have no relay partner. Don't let me find that out, Sean. She better not reach out and say, I've been going and he been at home. He says, no, we are slipping. All right. At least you're being honest about it, brother. I respect the honesty. Listen, I got a little bit to cover today in my little short time that I'm going to be here. All right. I want to thank those that take the time out of their day to come talk, listen, engage, get upset, leave this platform feeling better. Because one thing I try not to do is I am not angertainment. Okay, I'm not angertainment. I try to be entertainment, educationaltainment, but I'm not angertainment. And there's some things that I like to clear up. Because I disagree with someone don't mean I don't like them. Because I disagree with someone's point or if DC says, bro, you need to get back down to Florida. This weather is effing you up. I know. I'm leaving Friday, bro. I cannot stand it. I can't do it. I'm leaving for Florida on Friday. I know I'm probably gonna leave Thursday evening. I'm getting that stuff situated now. Thursday evening, pardon me, so I can do a show on Friday. I've been doing all that, man. I've been drinking and doing all this stuff. I've been doing all that stuff, and I know how to handle a cold and this and this and that, but I don't even think it's a cold because my temperature is not. My temperature is 97.5. It was 98.5 yesterday, and then it went down, and I'm feeling like, damn, I thought when you felt like this, your temperature was crazy. That's what I thought. I always thought that. So my wife did her little fake nursing shit on me yesterday my wife got this little like remember back in the day we had Fisher Price everything. Fisher Price used to be that toy company that had fake grown-up shit for everything. You could be a fake auto mechanic because they had the tools that plastic little tools you get up under the car and you fix your car, and then they had the fake tools that you can build stuff, and then they had the fake doctor kits where they had the thermometer and the heart thing and all. Remember all the Fisher Price fake shit? Well, my wife got one of those. She got a home kit, fix some shit when it's wrong type stuff. Fake shot thing, the little plastic thing you shoot somebody with the fake shit. But I'm like, would you please? I can't stand coughing or sneezing or something around my wife because what happens is she go get this little kit. And it's like she want to be Fisher Price. She go get the damn kit and she get all this little shit out and she get the little, it even got the little pump thing where you pump the blood thing. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you doing all of this shit for? What are you going to know where if I'm dying like right now, how is all this shit about to help me? You got the Fisher Price shit out. How much we pay for that? I'm just saying, like, she got the thing that take my blood pressure, squeeze it, that's killing my arm. You know that. She got all that shit. She got a thermostat. What's that thing? She got one of those new digital ones where you point the thing to your head and the laser beam hit you in the front of your head and it tell you your temperature. I'm like, why we got all of this shit? Why do we have all of this different stuff to be able to tell me I got to go to the doctor? Ah, my wife, she loved me to death, man, but she just so extra when it comes to shit like that. I can't argue. I can't fight it. I can't argue it. It's better than how when we was kids, I couldn't stand thermometers. Oh my God. How many of y'all remember when we had thermometers back in the day? I'm traumatized by them thermometers. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Some of y'all know. Do I even have to say it? As a man, I don't know about some of y'all, but as a man, and even as a little bitty ass boy, I have a fear of thermometers. Some of you that might have been the beginning of y'all fucking shit why y'all are the way you are today. Me, I ran when I seen the thermometer. Y'all know what I'm talking about, fellas. Some of y'all. Some of y'all was, mama, go get the thermometer. Mama, can we play with the thermometer today? Mama, can we play that thermometer game? Nasty mom. Yeah. Yeah, that violation was horrible, Valerie Davis. I'm like, ugh, I don't like this. Mama. No, mama, this can't be for real. This ain't helping me do shit. This ain't helping me do nothing, mama. Mama. Yeah, I don't do that shit. Some of them little kids was still hollering, Mama, can we play with that thermometer? Let's play that thermometer game. I likes that. Some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know if it's a hood thing. I don't know if it was just a black thing. I don't know. But back in the day, let me cut it. Back in the day, when we were children, they had thermometers to take your temperature, right? But they had to put it in your butt. And I'm like, this shit can't be for real. Like, I used to run. I would get an ass whooping before I get the temp. By the time I got back home from running from my mom and them, because I was a runaway. I like to run. Like, you wasn't gonna beat my ass without a fight. Like, I wouldn't fight you, but I put up a struggle to catch me. That's what I was as a kid. I would run. And I would just run until, like, one time I ran, I knew I was sick. And I just ran and shit, right? And I ran and stayed gone until I just started feeling better. So they didn't have no reason to take my temperature. I just stayed gone. I went over Jazzy in them house. I stayed over Miss Martin house and shit for days. And I know Miss Martin, who loved me to death. She babysitted me all the time. That was Jazzy's grandmama. She was big mama of the neighborhood. I know she called my granny and them was like, his little ass over here. I got him. Don't worry about it. And in my world, I was running away. Like, you wasn't about to do that, violate me with no thermometer. Fuck that. So I stayed over Miss Martin in them house for a couple days and shit. By the time I went back home, I was cool. I didn't need no temperature taking no more. I was cool. All cured, mama. I was cured. I was cured. Get that thermometer away from me. All right, but yeah, my wife got a Fisher Price pack. She got one of them Fisher Price things and shit. It ain't Fisher Price, it's official. And it got everything in it. Damn it, you think you at UC Hospital? It got everything in it, from band-aids to a fucking bring your ass. It'll bring you back to life, like one of them things that clear. One of them type joints. It got everything in it. Everything. But anyway, we're gonna get to it real fast, quick and easy. Couple things. Let me see. I wrote a note or two down because I didn't have anything to talk about until I wrote this down. Nathan Wade. Y'all know Nathan Wade. He is the guy that Fannie Willis was messing with. Well, now I got some information on that. His attorney, his divorce attorney slash friend slash business partner, I should say, they had a firm together. They didn't really have a firm together, but they shared fees. Okay. And in that field, when you share a fee, you don't necessarily have a firm together, but when you share a fee, what that means in a legal form is basically you guys are splitting commissions because you're working on cases together. All right. So they did a little bit of that. They weren't technically a firm. I think Mr. Wade had his spot, and his lawyer had his place. And what happened is they start working on cases together, split some commissions or split some fees, and they were friends. And then Mr. Wade ended up paying this gentleman to be his attorney in his divorce case. And what happens is this: the attorney that you seen on the stand in that case, who was Wade's attorney, he went up there and started saying, I'm going to plead the fifth, or, the bar association told me. And I told y'all it wasn't going to fly. When he said the bar association told me if I get up here, I can perjure myself, and they don't want me to say, that's not the information that the bar association would never tell him anything like that. They don't help you make up your mind. That's not what they do. Matter of fact, they sit back and wait for you, your free will, to decide on what you want to do. And if you're going to perjure yourself, incriminate yourself, if you're going to lie or whatever, and then they're going to stand there and they're going to wait for you. And then they coming to get you after this situation is done and over with. He was informed by someone else, another third party, who told him to plead the fifth, don't incriminate himself, try to use the attorney-client privilege. He was instructed to do that. I knew he was, and he was trying not to snitch, but I heard it. I heard what he was saying. Yeah, I know some shit, but I ain't gonna say nothing. I can't say nothing because that's my friend. And I've already given testimony I've given closed door testimony on some shit I've already lied about, and I can't go in open court now and say the opposite of that. So I'm just going to plead the fifth. And I've been told by the bar association that I should just plead the fifth. And that's not what they would do. I knew he was lying. They knew he was lying. If he was a sharp attorney, he would have known he was even lying. He would have known not to say that type of lie. That was like the most uncredible. That was crazy for him to even bring that up like that, for him to take that approach. But basically what he did is he told on himself. He pretty much said, I know information, but I can't say it because I will lose my license. And the reason why he said that, and I told you, when he said that, I got the clip if y'all want to see it. He said something in the nature of, if I say something now, I would be perjuring myself and I would lose my life. I don't want to lose my law license. So what that told me is that he had already said something he had already testified to something, probably in a closed door sit down, where he had to, because you can't say, unless you're afraid that what you say now might be proven, a lie later on. And I'm confused, bro. Like, you either know that they already have the information, or you're afraid that the information that could nail you is easily accessed. And granted, it was. Now what they saying, he has to go in at 2:00 and give open court testimony. And client privilege, the judge has decided it's not going to hold up in this case. We want to know what you know about Fannie Willis and Mr. Wade. Were they a couple before he was assigned to this case? And he knew they were. He knew they was smashing and grabbing and banging and danging. He knew what they was doing. He knew it. That's why they was asking him them opening questions. It was very simple. I could tell he knew something about the questions they was asking him. Wasn't that hard to figure out. And everything they were asking were rhetorical questions. They already knew the answers. They just wanted his answer on file, basically on record. They wanted it on record. So what he say, it's going to go against him. It's going to definitely, Fannie Willis has definitely purged herself. Mr. Wade has definitely purged himself. So all y'all fly asses who thought she was up there, tell them, girl, and all that old shit, your ass would be in jail too if you was as stupid as her, because that's the shit that send you to jail. All that she telling they ass, yeah, tell they ass, Fannie. Tell they ass, look at her, guys, look at sis. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Anyway, let me tell you what they just came up on for y'all that may not know. Not only does the attorney, Mr. Wade's attorney, have to testify on what all he actually knows about their relationship, now they have evidence of phone records. phone records. Phone records of Mr. Wade's cell phone and Fannie Willis. Remember, Fannie Willis was like, I'm not the one on trial here. See, that was a bar to some of y'all. But Fannie, you are. You're not on trial, but this is the beginning of your trial. This is the beginning of if there's going to be a case later on. And I tried to tell people that, but of course I was attacking a black woman. I can't say some shit that's real. I got to be attacking a black woman. So I said, these phone records are showing over 2,000 text messages, 1,200 phone calls. Now, here come the slick shit, because you know we think we slick. You know what I'm saying? We think we slick. We even think we're slicker than the system that we use to nail people. She's part of the system that sends people to jail. She's part of a system that formulates RICO cases. She understands what we call the spider web, which means you let people stick themselves to the web. She understands all of that, but yet she's going to go in like she's immune of falling detriment to any of it. And all she did was kill herself on stand. And I told y'all that. I told you there's reasons why they're asking her questions like what they're asking her. And then y'all thought it was a bar to say, I'm not on trial here. It's those people over there who are on trial here. They are the ones who try. See, that's the deflection. They are the ones that's trying to steal an election. They are Donald Trump. Trump. Get your eyes off of me. It's all about Trump. We ain't here today, Fannie, because of Trump. We're here today because of your decision of prosecution. Let's not get lost in the purpose of the whole point of why we're here. $2,000 text messages from Mr. Wade. Now, anybody that got some damn sense, anybody on this program, on this platform right now that got any sense, know that if a man and a woman is conversating, 2,000, 3,000 text messages, 1,200 phone calls, and they all come from your area. They got pings of his cell phone being at her crib. Now they saying this. Oh, no. We got to get that. She's filed a motion to have the cell phone records taken out of the argument. That's not ever going to happen. That's just the motion. You can file motions for anything. That's not going to happen. It's very relevant in this case. So now they want the phone records taken out. I would too. But then when they get them and they admit them to the case, here's what their argument's going to be. I promise you. I ain't heard it yet. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm going to show you how I've seen this case several times in my life. Mr. Wade is going to say, yeah, that you remember they asked him on the stand. They said, so if your phone records show that you were in the vicinity of her house, those phone records won't be accurate, right? Or will they? He said, no, that won't be accurate. That won't be the case. So now, no matter what you say, Mr. Wade, you're perjuring yourself, because you just said that if there's any phone records of me being in the vicinity of her house, it's wrong. Wrong. Come on now. See, y'all thought Fannie was slick by talking a lot. Mr. Wade was the slick one by saying very, very little and sweating and drinking a bunch of water and being methodical in his thoughts. He wasn't up there doing all this old shit. He was a little slicker, but when you caught, you caught. It's not too much slick you can be. Now, here's his next move. All right, I was in the vicinity, but the condo is over by, like, let's just say it's in, I don't know. Give me an area. Say it's in Westchester. No, say it's in Mason, where the condo is right there, and right by Mason, right by her condo is like a strip mall, a BW3s, a Walmart or whatever, bunch of stores. So now what his slick ass is going to do is say this. All right, I forgot. I was in those areas several times, but Miss Fannie Willis lives, she lives right there by Walmart that I frequently visit. She live right by the BW3s that I eat lunch and dinner at all the time. She's at my favorite. She lives right around the corner. Pardon me, where my favorite restaurant is. Oh, she lived right over there by my dry cleaners. She lived right over there where I get my tires on my car all the time. See, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna have to create a reason of being in that area. And you know what the court's gonna do? They're gonna say, all right, we believe you. We believe you. But show us records of how you ate at BW3s on this date. Show us records that you were there. Because it's already been proven to the court and testified by Mr. Wade that he uses his credit card to pay his bills. He's not the cash guy. She is. She's the cash player. He's not. And then they're going to say, well, Mr. Willis or Mr. Wade, what BW3s is open at 4 o'clock in the morning? Let me answer this question that Jared has. I'm sorry, I was trying to read it, but it was going by fast. Jared on YouTube says, is Wade a subordinate of DA Fannie or not? Is dating a person who you hired as a contractor against the rules? That's the question that needs to be answered. Yeah, that's the whole point of the hearing. You're absolutely right, Jared. And yes, it is against the rules. It is against the rules. Several rules were broken. Rules and ethical violations were broken if this is the case. They haven't disputed a relationship. It's the timing of the relationship, Jared. It's the spending of the money. It's the purging themselves to the court. It's the lying in depositions, and now it's at this point. And once you lie as an officer of the court, once you lie in court, your credibility is gone. And how are you going to prosecute someone when you're a liar and a deceptive person in the court, your damn self? How can you put up an ethical fight or be ethical yourself when you've been proven to be a liar? And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. And it's not that I'm trying to make it this way. I told y'all when I first talked about this, there's a serious and strong possibility that she'll be disbarred. She's the highest office. I don't want to wish it on her, but it was pretty obvious through their testimony that they were lying. And there were witnesses. You got one lady that was her friend, sorority sister, and her friend, and worked in the office, who said that they've been together since 2019. So yeah, Jared. Yeah. Yeah, Jared, there's a lot of cause for dismissal in this particular situation. A lot. And I know it's hard to hear it because everybody want to go for the black woman, but we don't care if the black woman wrong. We just want the black woman to win, and that's ridiculous to me. If it was a black man, I would be on his ass just like I'm on her ass. If it was a white man, I'd be on his ass. If it was a white woman, I'd be on her ass. I would have this same argument. So, I mean, what I get tired of is we thinking we infallible. Like we think we don't do no wrong. And see, we do us so bad that I always have to bring it to the table. And people be like, they be tripping on me. They trip on me. They trip on me like, Wyatt, why do you go so hard on us? Because I'm going to tell you something. If it wasn't us damaging us, we would be doing a whole lot better. It ain't who y'all think be slowing shit down for us. It be us. And I'm the only one who's willing to say it. There's the other people, radio, podcast, they all say that shit behind closed doors. They even whisper it real low so you can't really hear it. They'll tell you. But I'm the only one that's brave enough to tell you the truth. Because what you got to do, basically what I'm trying to do is tell you to keep your head on the swivel. And that means be careful of everybody. Be careful of all people, no matter what color they are. Because what I don't want you to do is put your guard down because somebody that look like you think that they act like you. You think that they out for your best interest. You think that that person acts and is good to people like you are, and they're not. People are color. People of all colors abuse authority. But what I get tired of hearing people saying is the white man, the white man, the white man, this, the white man, that. When in fact, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I can count on two hands being burned for thousands of dollars. And these two hands wouldn't have a white man on them. So you can get mad at me all you want to. I'm speaking from experience. Now, have I ever done business with white people and it gone south or gone wrong? Absolutely. But not one of them came up to me and started it out with the, oh, hey, bro, come on, hey, bro, come on, man, you know the bro, come on, bro, the putting down my guard shit. Nah, I ain't never had it that way. Remember yesterday? Oh, by the way, Davis Denise, I got that article. I got that story off Channel 19. I'm going to play it today. Since I'm always lying and shit, DD, you know what I'm saying? I call Davis Denise. I'm going to start calling her DD on here. Since they think I'm always lying and I got some hidden agenda about bonds and shit. I told you these judges are letting people out on violent violations, violent, letting them out on OR bonds. Holding motherfuckers hostages with guns to the head and letting them out. And I've invited everybody to come to courtroom A with me and watch it. And watch it in broad daylight. But for some odd reason, they don't ever want to talk. Now, even Black radio talk about it. Even Black radio will talk about it, but they distance themselves from the problem. I told you that these folks, y'all got this little fake ass pro-Black, I care about my community shit. You can't care about a community when you care about the people who committing the most crimes. You care how they dealt with. You care more about how they handled than you care about the majority of the people that's suffering in the community. You can't care about the community. That's oxymoron. That's dumb as hell. Jason Dockery, what's up, bro? He says, why are the judges doing that? Because they don't live in the community. And I don't care what any other judges say. That's my final answer. I ain't phoning a friend. I ain't calling a lifeline. That's my final answer. Because those motherfuckers don't live in the neighborhood that you live in. Why else would you let somebody go back into, if that person lived in the neighborhood of the judge got all that information. And that judge can clearly see where this person live, where he gonna go if he get out of jail, all that old shit. And if he lived on the street of that same judge, that judge would be like, whoa, wait a minute. This motherfucker live on Genuine Street. That's around the corner photo. That's photos around the corner from me. Oh, no, sir. We can't have that. Because that means you're gonna be over your mama house. Your mama live photos down the street around the corner from me. No. You won't be going there. But see, the judges know that when they dump them back into the neighborhoods that they get caught up in, it don't affect them. It don't affect them. And that's what I've been trying to tell y'all. Soft on crime ass people. Soft on crime ass people. And you know what? I'm gonna play the video. I had some other stuff to talk about. Especially, since yesterday I talked about this Tiffany Hanyard girl, who's a mayor over by Chicago, a little bit outside of Chicago. And she running amok of a little city. And I told y'all we can't have nothing. You put us in charge, we gonna fuck it up. I keep telling y'all that. Y'all so easy and quick to blame somebody. but we don't look at what we do when we got it. I told y'all if I had if I had Lincoln Heights, if I was the grown man that I am today and I understood what Lincoln Heights was and I had probably the capital that I have today, I would have shot to be something special in um in Lincoln Heights. I'm not from that area. My uncle's father, which was who I called my grandfather, they lived in Lincoln Heights. So in the summer times, I would go out to Lincoln Heights with my uncle, Zone 15, and play. I was out there as a kid. We didn't really get along. It's not that we fought, but I was from downtown. The Lincoln Heights guys was the Lincoln Heights guys. Same cloth, just cut different. You understand what I'm saying? So I go out there, play football, and do what I do. I chilled. Never really liked being out there. It wasn't that we was better or worse than anybody. It's just that they didn't accept me too well out there. I wasn't from there. It was I stood a better chance of kicking it with my English Woods dudes or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Not Moosewood, but English Woods or some shit like that. But I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't feel comfortable in Lincoln Heights. It was almost like going out of town because it was so far away for me as a kid. Getting on that expressway, going out there felt like a trip, like I was going out of town, and I wasn't comfortable there. But that all being said, if I'd known what I know today and had the accessibility to cash or funds, capital that I have now, I would have tried to do something with Lincoln Heights. No, I wouldn't have. No, I wouldn't have, because I know how we are. I know that I would have had commitments from the mouth, and the actions would have been very far. No actions. Everybody would have been like, "Yeah, let's do it, Wyatt. Let's do it. Come on, bro. I'm good. I'm down. Let's do it, Wyatt. Yeah, okay. I'll get a plot. Okay. All right, Wyatt. I'll buy some land. All right. And then when it's time to put the cash up, me and a couple people, me 2, 3 people, will only be standing there. We'll be the only ones standing. We'd be the only ones standing, and it always happened that way. My godfather did that. They spent all that money in them bowling alleys in the city of Cincinnati. Mr. Jones, Leroy Jones, and Mr. Washington, and a couple other people that owned some black business people, prominent black business people in the city of Cincinnati used to bowl on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. And them brothers all went together one time and said, "We need to open up our own bowling alley. We giving these folks all our money." Excuse me. We bowling a couple nights a week and on the weekends, and we bringing tournaments in town. Real story. Mr. Jones said, "Son," he told me one of his son, "Listen, that partnership shit, don't do it. Never do it. Because you ain't gonna do nothing but get a bunch of people that just talk a lot of shit, especially us." They all got together and said, "Let's buy a bowling alley." They got together. It was 10 of them. It was my godfather, Mr. Washington, couple others I ain't gonna mention because they part of the problem. But I will say the two stand-up ones was Mr. Washington and Mr. Jones. They were the ones that stood up. They came, they did all those meetings, got all that financing together, put their money and was ready to put all the money up. And they got to a point where it was time to bring the money and put it on the wood, and guess what happened? Those other 8 guys never showed up. Just talking shit, wanting to be in the circle, wanting to be in the know. Mr. Jones and Mr. Washington they were all ready to go to do their own black-owned bowling alley. Everybody fell out. You can learn a lot from people that's actually doing something in this world. You can learn a lot from people that actually step up and do things. They'll show you how they were successful when they took the chance, and they'll tell you and they'll show you why they failed at things. And it's not always by their doing. Sometimes they fail because people just don't do what they're supposed to do. And I got a lesson in that too, because he broke it down. He showed me, told me how, look for these things when you're dealing with these type of people, man. Anyway, let me get back to my point at hand. I told y'all about these violent crimes and how they're not getting bonds. I'm going to show you this one. Shout out to Davis Denise. She sent it to me. I think I got it right before the show, sis. But I see this every day. And in this news clip, let's see if y'all pick up on somebody that says something about this in this clip. See if you pick up something that Wyatt Live had said in the past and correlate it with this video and see if you can make some sense of what I said some time ago and what's being talked about in this video now by a city official. See if it reminds you of anything. Check it out.
Charged with felony kidnapping goes to court and a judge releases him on his own recognizance.
So that decision is drawing some criticism from city leaders and the president of the Cincinnati Police Union.
So Mike Shell's been following the story. He is outside of Duke Energy with the latest. Mike?
Yeah, Tricia, this happened Saturday night here outside the Duke Energy. Going on inside. Witnesses tell police that Teven West pulled a gun on a man who was with his daughter at the time. City leaders are reacting to the release of 25-year-old Teven West on his own recognizance.
But I'll tell you what's not appropriate is giving someone an OR bond when they're accused of committing a violent crime with a gun.
Disturbed at the least. I don't understand why somebody that was charged with a felony 2 kidnapping would be released on their own recognizance.
West is facing 2 misdemeanor charges of aggravated menacing and felony kidnapping.
An Elm, a male pointing a gun at another male, 5th and Elm, armed with a black pistol.
In room A today, Judge William Mallory released West on his own recognizance on all 3 charges, including the felony kidnapping.
Something as serious as a kidnapping charge, when you're involving an adult and a juvenile, how you can't issue them some bond, at least something, it doesn't make any sense.
A man who said he witnessed the event told Fox 19 Now, "I was the first one to call 911 and almost walked directly into the man. He was screaming he wanted to kill a white guy." Cincinnati police have not confirmed that witness's statement.
Maybe it is time to start having Cincinnati police officers go back to room A. There was a time when Cincinnati police would show up for preliminary hearings and deliver to the judge exactly what transpired and how the suspect responded when arrested.
According to court documents, West held the victim at gunpoint and then moved him to 5th and Elm Streets, but then fled the scene when Cincinnati police officers began to arrive.
The police do exactly what the police are trained to do. They respond, they arrest the suspect, take him to jail, only for him to get out this morning on an OR bond is only in furthering endangering the public, and it has to stop.
According to the criminal complaint, West told the father to leave his daughter alone with him. Witnesses tell us that the girl ran and hid behind some flower pots. Now, West's case is scheduled to go before a grand jury on March 11th. Reporting live downtown, Mike Shell, Fox 19 Now.
Now, I don't even want to talk about this long because I've only been talking about it for 3 years now. And I know some of you new to the show, and I'm not going to slay you slow to the beat because you haven't been here. But what I've been telling you and what we've been talking about over here is this. And this is when I ask okay, let's do the correlation now of what I was saying. Did you see the city official? Who was the city official? Scotty, right? What did I ask the chief of police? When are you and the city council going to get with the prosecutor's office and do what? I know y'all think I'll be talking shit, but y'all know I'm on schedule with this. You know what I'm saying is absolute. And I asked the chief of police, when are your office going to get with city council and prosecutors and have a discussion with the judges on these bonds? Can anybody remember that? Do you remember me asking those questions? Now the Cincinnati media is putting the cameras in city council's face. Remember they was telling me, well, don't be blaming city council. Don't be blaming, the chaos agents who think that I'm attacking black people. See, what y'all don't understand is I'm tired of this black and white shit. I'm so sick of it because you use the excuse of somebody being black and in leadership that it's okay to be not be a failure, but it's okay to be a disservice to us. You're okay with us living in certain conditions as long as it's ran by us, as long as the school board superintendent is black. I told you that's designed to be that way. So you will accept it and give her a little time, give her a little chance, give her some time. Give her a little chance to get things right. How you gonna get things right, sis? You came from a failure. You came from a losing organization. I done got time for that. Go get me a winner. Go get me a Super Bowl winning coach. I'm tired of retreads. How a coach that ran a 1-16 team gonna come into Cincinnati and turn us into a Super Bowl contender? They're not. So why would you think anybody that's in charge of our kids, who comes from a losing organization, is here to make things better for your child? Y'all fall for this bullshit all the time. And what they do, it's the same old people. They put people that look like you in front of you so you'll be okay with it. Don't attack the sister. Don't attack the woman. Y'all always making it hard on black women. The fuck? Wait a minute. What about our children? Aren't they the priority here? What about our streets? What, y'all not gonna get mad at this situation that I just showed you on a video because it was a black judge? Well, FYI, the white ones do it too. Just so happens this video came out and it was a black judge in this particular case. But both the white ones and the black ones do it. Do the white ones and the black ones live in the neighborhood? I bet you they don't live in the neighborhood where this young man is gonna go. I have never seen anybody in my history. I'm 19 years in. This is my damn near 20th year as an officer of the court, and I've never seen anybody that I can think of. I mean, it may have happened and I just don't know. I have never seen anybody get a OR bond on an F2. An F2 is it's mandatory jail time if convicted. There's only two. There's an F1 and an F2. Those are the worst felonies that you can possibly have. F1 is murder. F2 is right damn near there. You just didn't pull the trigger. If this was an F5 or even an F4, I might say some shit like, well, maybe due to the circumstances, maybe the evidence is not quite weighing in a conviction's favor. And I could see that it may be down to a misdemeanor or something of that nature. But an F2 ain't going nowhere. An F2 is going to be an F2. It's not going to be dropped down to a 3, chances are. Simply because there was a weapon used. And threat to bodily harm. Stop playing. A OR? Get out of here, bro. And y'all know when I got what's the police chief's name? Not McGuffrey. That's the sheriff. But when Tiggy or whatever her name, when I said what I said to her, I said, well, wait a minute. I had to give her an example, and she knew what I was talking about. I said to her, I said, listen, I said, what about, and I didn't say it like this, but I'm paraphrasing. I said, well, what about the 18-year-old kid that caught a gun charge in Westwood? He caught a gun charge in Westwood. He got out on an OR bond. And a week and a half later, he catches another gun charge because he's out shooting at somebody that was shooting at him. You didn't drop him right back into the environment that he came from when he caught the first gun charge. Now you got an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, an 18 and a 19-year-old all getting shot. These folks don't care, man. They too busy trying to get elected. They understand that the elective base is the ones you have to please. And until the elective base understand that they're at the highest danger. You guys are at the highest danger. You have to stop feeling sorry for the small piece of element. There's a reason why that element can consistently exist, because you back it, you support it, you think that there's a chance of correcting it. What you're doing is you're feeding it. Like I got a cold. If I keep going outside with nothing on my head right after I wash up or right after I take a shower, I'm feeding into my cold. No matter how strong I want to overdo this cold that I have, if I continue to feed it, it's going to stay with me. So as long as y'all keep feeding that small element in the community and supporting these fake ass nonprofits that make people think that they solving these problems. Listen, there's some simple common denominators. Simple common denominators in the problem. You show me a bad neighborhood, you show me a bad city that has crime, badass kids, you show me all these things, I'll show you one common denominator: bad leadership. Bad leadership gives you everything that it's all the same, no matter where you go. I seen an article today. Y'all think that the shit that's going on downtown Cincinnati is like just in Cincinnati? Charlotte, North Carolina, and cities like Atlanta, Charlotte, all these places got overwhelmingly youth violence going on in their cities. It's overwhelming. And you know what's crazy about it? All of them have what you want to call, they have the same city council like what Cincinnati has. They have the same school systems. They have the same fucking leadership. I just use it like this. There's this guy that has a video out, and he's talking about how broke people want to look rich and how rich people, they kind of look broke so they can stay that way. And the guy uses this example. And I know I'm off a little bit, but I kind of, when I think of these situations and how these communities are, I kind of correlate it with this, what I'm about to say. But this man said that, I would rather be a rich man carrying, I would rather be a rich man carrying a $5,000 in a plastic bag than have a $5,000 bag with $100 in it. You'll catch up to that here in a minute. I would rather be a person that carried $5,000 in a plastic bag than have a $5,000 bag with dollars in it. Well, what the fuck that mean, Wyatt? Think about it. That's how some of your leaders are. I don't mind. I just want to be a leader. I don't care if we successful. I don't care. We just want to have a perception that we running some shit. We just want to act. We just want to look like we got some shit going on and we got it together. I don't care if we successful or not. I want to be at least known as being successful, but the records don't have to show nothing. I just want to make it look like I'm being, like I'm achieving something. I'm a difference maker in the community. That's kind of what I want to look like. I want to be a $5,000 bag with $100 in it. It's amazing. The reason why they doing it, some people are asking, why they doing that? Because they don't have to live in them neighborhoods. And I told you it's a revolving door. You guys are we talk about lynching. There's still people on the radios and shit talking about the black man, the lynch, and the Jim Crow and all this old shit, when in fact, none of that shit is playing a factor in our life today. I got a better shot of getting my head knocked off by a dude out on the street than I do being lynched somewhere in Mississippi. And I don't care if you like it or not, disagree with me or not. You go to Chicago and make the wrong turn and see what happened to your black ass. Let me see your pro-black ass. You can have a dashiki on and all type of shit. They gonna pro-black your ass to death. You'll see. Make a wrong turn. leadership is bad. There's this area, I was talking about it yesterday. I think Twin called and we was talking and he was like, well, where in Illinois? And I said, like Dalton in Illinois. Oh, he knew exactly where it was, because guess what? In this little small city called Dalton, there's this this mayor. Leadership. Tiffany Henyard. Tiffany Henyard. Have y'all seen her yet? Let me see if I got a video on Tiffany. She's the leader. She's the leader. Let me see if I got something. Tiffany Henyard says, we black out here. Let me see if I got something out here for you. Because y'all, she's going to seem a little familiar. You know what I'm saying? Like she's going to look, her acting is horrible, but what she does is going to look real familiar to a lot of people. It's just we got some people that act the same way. They just not as hood about it. They got a little bit more couth about themselves. But they act like this to me. They the same person to me. Let me see if I can bring this video up for you real fast. All right. This is her in chambers one time. She's talking to, well, I'll let you just watch it. She's talking to the people on the board. Check this out.
Because y'all got false narratives out there, and y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. All the stuff that y'all did to get people to come to our community, to just diss and down our community. Shame on y'all. Because when I want to attack and take any of y'all seats, I run. I run for the seat. I don't do smear campaigns. I don't do all this mess. It's nonsense. Because at the end of the day, we still got to live in this village. Oh, well, y'all don't live in the village, but we still got to live in the village.
And that's mild. That's actually mild. You have to wonder how somebody like that even got in office. I mean, what would be your first? Why would you vote for her? Why would you vote for her? I'm just curious, like what put her on the radar of being a good person for the community? Now, I'm not even going to tell you what I was able to do. I was able to access, some records. I was able to access some records of her, and I just want to know why did she not get vetted? I mean, why would you even vote for somebody like that? Now, they voted for, and then after the fact, just like in most cases, you voted identity. What policies did she talk about? The schools are horrible. The police department is losing money. They got a black police chief. God bless his heart. He out there damn near fighting on the streets with a small staff, and he out there shooting and the fucking gang violence and shit is crazy. And this lady taking the money and doing other things. They don't care about your people. You don't care. You can always tell the ones that care because they are the ones that are the most critical, not the ones that are the soft-hearted and the babies. I'm not suggesting that they don't care, but the ones who give the most, the ones that go the hardest are the ones that hold us the most critical. Those are the ones that are more critical to us because they have higher expectations. Let me show you this one right here. This is something that I'd like to share of what's going on with Miss Tiffany. What's her name? Tiffany Henyard. Check it out.
WGN Investigates has an update on dysfunction in Dalton, where local leaders are fighting over transparency, spending, and safety. Now the South Suburbs' controversial mayor is firing back, and it all played out at a public meeting last night.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet, the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work, no work.
Tiffany Henyard considers herself something of a crusader, but one who's clearly annoyed by questions from a rebellious group of Dalton trustees who are in a standoff with her over spending.
Vendors are not being paid. Board approved it. The vendors are not being paid.
How about you be a good leader, bring RFPs to the forefront, so not just us, but the residents and everybody else in America know how the money is being spent.
WGN Investigates has cataloged tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars spent on trips, meals, and more by Tiffany Henyard and her allies in Dalton and on the Thornton Township Board, where she's the supervisor. Township credit card records show Henyard and other officials spent more than $67,000 on trips to Portland, Austin, Atlanta, and New York City. Many of the flights were first class. So were the accommodations. In Atlanta, Henyard and her team stayed at the Four Seasons Hotel, costing taxpayers more than $9,000. In New York, the bill came to $13,000. Henyard has refused to explain the specific purpose of the trips or why they travel in such style, but she appeared to refer to our reporting at Monday's Dalton meeting.
But everything we do for the people. But we under attack. We getting scrutinized in the media. For what? Loving on the people? Showing them that they matter to us? We going through the fires for y'all.
Henyard calls her critics grandstanders who should get in line.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Dalton's difficulties got worse in recent weeks with water main breaks Henyard blames on trustee budget cuts. Then 4 people were shot and injured last week, leaving nerves frayed and Henyard's opponents pointing out her sizable security detail.
It's unfortunate that politics are being played, but what has happened is $1 million out of my budget has been cut because of politics.
We're not saying the police is not doing a good job. What we're saying is you're assigning all of them to be with you when they should be out here protecting the residents so we can all feel safe.
Residents are taking notice. Some spoke for and others against the mayor.
Well, you know, we got the mayor here, meeting with the president of the United States. Everyone's seen the picture. That's a big deal. That is great promotion for this city, for this town.
Ladies and gentlemen, be civil, do things right, think of the residents. You are here to represent the residents and not yourself.
Henyard and her publicity team no longer respond to our emails seeking an explanation of her spending. As we've reported, she is also the face of a cancer charity that bears her name, one that has failed to file required financial disclosures. The Illinois Attorney General has given the foundation until the middle of this month to show how it spends its money or face legal action. Lourdes?
I'm going to say this. It's pretty obvious that her situation is just hood and out of control, right? I don't expect anything. I don't expect more from her. They got what they voted for. They chose her. What opponent didn't look her up? What opponent didn't say, hey, she can be whatever y'all want her to be, but the truth of the matter is she has a record. I don't know if she's going to be trustworthy. She doesn't have a history in politics. Why would you make her the mayor? She's never even been on city council. I don't even know if she's been on community council. So why are we doing identity politics here and saying she's the first young black woman to be the mayor of our city? Why is that so important to you than to have someone that's going to be good? What does she have on her record to be able to say that she's going to make sure that the police department stays funded the right way, waterworks is going to do things the right way, black folks and their taxes will not go up, businesses are going to be safe and assured? What? Let me show you. This is her. That's her. You know why she looking like that? Because if it was in the city of Cincinnati, that would be a shot at the Hamilton County Justice Center. That's an Illinois Justice Center photograph from 2016, folks. 2016. You stealing cars. You doing different shit out here. And I don't even know what gives this woman the gumption to sit back and talk to those older people. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. We's black. We's black out here. We's black. And a black woman in power, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. I don't know if that's a legitimate argument for whatever case you might be holding, ma'am. I don't know why you think. I know why you could say that to people. I know exactly why you can say that. Because it's the same narrative that got you the position in the first place. I'm black. I'm the first black woman. I'm black. I'm black. I'm a woman. I'm a black woman. I'm woman black. I'm a black woman. And don't get mad at me, ladies. Y'all know she used that shit. You know she pimped the black card. She pimped it. And she got all the way up there. And guess what? They got exactly, and I hate to say this because there's some old people, there's some older people in that community that don't deserve her. They worked their whole life. Property taxes going up. Sanitation is going up. Sewage is going up, all because of her behavior. The reason why she can get in front of those folks and talk all that, I'm black, we black, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. The reason why she was able to do that shit is because that's what she ran on. I guarantee you. And if it works to get me here, then damn it, I'm going to use it to stay here. Now, I'm going to tell you, if being black, now listen, there's a reason why I'm saying this. It's not because I'm anti-black position and all that old shit. It's I'm tired of people like that using black people to stepping on black people for their own personal benefit. I get tired of that. And then putting us all out there and using racism and all that old shit as their stepping stone to be and go in the direction that they trying to go in. That's the only thing that frustrates me. If she cared so much about black people, she would do her community better. And if she cared so much about black people, she wouldn't do the people that are the tax, like the tax base, the businesses. Some of the black ladies that have been, we didn't have some issues in our community where black leaders are going at it amongst each other and doing little things, kind of sabotaging each other and stuff like that. That to me is not a leadership situation. That's not showing any signs of leadership at all. What that shows me is, I hate to say it, and I'm going to be the one to say it. Whenever I see behavior like that, and I'm not going to point one way or the other, I won't stop saying this because Emmanuel is opening up a can of worms. I was about to say something. When I see this type of behavior between women like that, men are women, and they seem to be, I've been in the boardroom. I've been in a position where it was me and one other black person, and that black person was going to be he was going to be the better Negro. He going to be he going to be the smarter Negro out of us. So what he got to do is attack me. We don't know how to be in role. We don't know how to be in charge in our lane. We don't know how to just shine where we sit. We always got to be We want to be the first Negro to do this. We want to be the first. We all want to be something. It's just way too much. I'm going to get off of this because Emmanuel is starting to go in another direction and I ain't trying to go there. But if she cared, let me get back on her. If she can, and he know what I'm talking about because I know what he talking about. If she cared, she wouldn't do her people like this. Check this out.
When she says everything's been moved out of your office, they put you over into another section.
Right now at 9:30, a South Suburban elected official gets a rude surprise as she learns she's been locked out of her own office.
She believes it's dirty politics by another elected official who is now at the center of multiple controversies.
Fox 32's Dane Placco reports on another bizarre day in politics in Thornton Township.
So this is the assessor's office.
Cassandra Elston has been the assessor here in Thornton Township for the past 10 years, an elected position that helps residents deal with exemptions and property tax appeals. But when she arrived at work this morning, something strange happened.
This was your office?
Yes.
What happened when you tried to open it?
It doesn't work.
Not only had Elston been locked out of her own office, but boxes of sensitive documents that she kept in her office were spread around the common area.
This was under lock and key before.
This was under lock and key.
And now it's just out in the open?
Now it's just out in the open. So it has the taxpayer's name, address.
So who did this to you?
Well, I imagine this new supervisor, Tiffany Henyard.
Tiffany Henyard has become a political lightning rod since she was elected mayor of Dalton, making $46,000 a year, and last year appointed Thornton Township supervisor at more than $200,000 a year.
This is Mayor Tiffany Henyard, Supervisor Henyard.
Last week, Fox 32 and the Illinois Answers Project investigated how Henyard is using Dalton and Thornton Township tax money, employees, and equipment to fund a cancer charity in her name. Elston has been critical of Henyard's spending at the township and believes getting kicked out is political payback.
But this is not going to stop me. This is my job. This is what I get paid to do.
She's the assessor. She invited us inside.
And that's when Township Security Office stepped in.
Okay. So you're refusing to leave? Yes.
South Holland police were called to the scene, and they agreed with us that the assessor had every right to invite us into her
The
office.
news crew is here to do an interview on me.
Does Tiffany Henyard have any right to do this?
Not only Tiffany Henyard, but nobody has any right to do this to a separate elected official like the assessor.
The assessor, Bert Oldelson, tells me they plan to file a lawsuit in Cook County demanding she get her office back.
It is extremely illegal.
You can do and say pretty much what you want to say or do to me. But when you start doing things that affects the taxpayers, that's why I draw the line.
After we finished the interview, somebody deactivated the key fobs for all of the assessor's employees, meaning now none of them can get into the office. So tomorrow they plan to set up tables and chairs here outside Township Hall to meet the public. In South Holland, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
She's just wild. She's just wild. But it shows you how much power a person could have in a leadership role, such as the mayor. Just even in higher roles than the mayor. And less role, a lesser role than the mayor, as long as it has influence. You can shut people out of their own space. And what I mean by that is you might think that you're equal because you were elected in your spot. But there's always somebody that has the community by the ear. And if you go against that individual, the community can turn on you. You wonder why we never get anywhere. Weird. You wonder why conditions stay the same. You wonder why our school systems aren't any better. You wonder why we have a youth problem in this country. See, I don't think we have a youth problem. Y'all call it that. Just like you say we got a gun problem. I don't think guns would be effective if you didn't have people that wanted to use them. So that's like saying we got a car problem. It's too many accidents. No, we got too many drunk drivers. We got too many irresponsible people utilizing something that you want to blame and not blaming the person that was irresponsible. So in a lot of cases, I don't know if y'all are doing your research, but like this little situation in Cincinnati, I started talking about it a little earlier. I don't know if y'all been doing your research, but this kid problem we have in Cincinnati it's nothing new. It's going across, it's in Louisiana, it's in New Orleans right now. It's in Charlotte, it's in Atlanta, it's in Cincinnati, it's in Baltimore. And it's all in the same area. And listen to the police chiefs in these cities. And they'll tell you, we don't have the resources to deal with this problem. We don't have the resources to even, we don't want to lock them all up, but we don't have the resources to deal with these problems of these kids, and we can't even put them somewhere and then hold them. We can't even do that. We don't have the resources to do it. You know why? Because to be honest with you, it's not normal to have resources to lock kids up and have somewhere to put them. We shouldn't have a spot for 400 kids to be locked up. That shouldn't be irregular. That shouldn't be normal. That shouldn't be something that we should be able to facilitate. Lock up 400 kids, keep the streets safe. No. We should be able to get these kids before they get to the point of being locked up. And how do you do that? Get to them homes. You get to them homes. Until we start holding parents accountable, it's going to be a revolving door of this same shit. And y'all can huff and puff until the doors don't blow down. But until you come to the reality of kid problem, we have a parenting problem. Until you come to that conclusion, you're going to sit there counting. I don't want you counting on your hands, but the number going to always be the same. Nothing's never going to change until you come to the conclusion that we have a parenting problem. And until you start holding parents accountable, kids will be kids. The kids that they will be kids. Those parents ain't gonna have no reason to do no better because they don't have no, hey, my mother was one of them. All right, that oven is hot. You touch it, you touch it. I told you. Charlotte, North Carolina just put a report out. The police chief of Charlotte, North Carolina just came out and said, man, we got a rotation of 300 kids that's just doing whatever. And we bring them in and we don't have anywhere to really put them. We let them out and they right back at doing it again. That means you got bad parents. I don't care what nobody say. You can be mad at me. You can cut me off. You can, what do they call it? Cancel me. You can't tell me that if a kid, look, I'm a firm believer that every child, including my own children, will do something in this world that I would disagree with, maybe even do something illegal, or maybe even steal cookies, but once they get caught, the decision on what determines who your kid is how they bounce back from adversity. Okay? Getting caught doing something is one thing. As a kid, I got caught stealing. I never put myself in that position again because it was embarrassing. Because they had to take me home to my mama, and it made my mama look bad. Fuck you, I ain't stealing some bullshit like that for. And she knocked me in my head in front of those people, making me look bad out here. Now, I'm a child, but at the same time, it slowed me down. I didn't steal. It's how you bounce back through what you do. But if I stole and they took me home to my mama, and my mama brought me in and said, oh, you on punishment. You can't get the new cell phone. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna get you the new laptop. You stuck with the one you got right there, that iPad and shit like that. You stuck doing what you do. I'm not getting you the new iPhone and none of that. Just use the one you got. And that's my punishment. Chances are I'm gonna go out and steal again. If the parents are not accountable in other ways than to just discipline their child, then you're just putting it into the hands of the parent to do what they're supposed to do. So how's that shit working out? I say this every time because it's important to me, and it kind of puts the icing on the cake of my point. When I was in another country where I lived, I wasn't Mr. Goodbar, none of that. I was in high school, and I had some opportunities to come up. I was not a street dude, but I did street dude shit. Okay, and my friends, my clique, my partners who lived over there, I would tell them, "Come on, man, this easy shit. The cars are unlocked. This is prime. This is cock. This is easy." My friends would tell me, "Can't do it, Ran. Can't do it." And I say, "Why? We ain't even gonna get caught. The doors are unlocked. We can get these block punts. We can get these radios. Get 200 a pop. This is easy. This is easy work for us." Nah, because if we get caught, man, my daddy got to pay for this. If we get caught, my father get in trouble, my mama get in trouble, and it's a bad thing on our name. I was cultural shocked. I was shocked. I was actually shocked that was the reason why a lot of them wasn't getting into the shit that I got into. You know what I'm saying? You afraid because your daddy will get in trouble at work? You're afraid because your father could lose his job for some shit you doing out here? Wow. So that made them not even participate in some of that street shit with me. See what I'm saying? That kept them on the straight and narrow. We wouldn't dare do that shit in America because you know why? Because we free. We too damn free. I remember the first week I started Wyatt Live, that was the craziest shit I've ever said in my life. And some of you will not allow me to live it down when I said, we could be too free. You know that, right? And that's when I became America's most wanted coon. This dude just said that black folks are too free. I didn't say black folks. I said we as Americans are too free. We're so free that we're able to do whatever we want to do, and only us will pay the price. So that means your parents are free to let you do whatever you want to do as their child. They could go do whatever they want to do because they only got to pay the price. That's too free. I actually lived in a country where parents were being held accountable, and it seems to work out. It seems to work out. Now, I want to go back to Miss Tiffany Hanyard. Someone want to take a guess how their school system is doing? Anybody want to take a guess their poverty level? Anybody want to take a guess at the black owners that own property there, how their taxes are how they're going up? Anybody want to take a guess? I told you, when you're in these type of situations, it's all about leadership. Show me a bad area, and I'll show you bad leadership. I don't care how well they dress. I don't care how they comb their hair. I don't care how polished they are. I don't care how educated they are. You show me a bad area, I will show you bad leadership. And you think, like in Chicago, you think Brandon Johnson, because he's a clean-cut brother with a black family, you think he give a shit about black people? He don't. Because if he cared, he would have been able to push $53 million into the black community that was in dire need prior to the immigrants even getting there, but they cry broke. Here's the other thing. When it came down to seeing how the black community was being treated in Chicago, and Brandon Johnson was not doing anything but riding along with what his master and them told him to do, because this is the order. He has an order to do this. He has an order to make it go the way it's going. You know how I know that? I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I know when things come down to a vote, all I got to do is watch how a politician votes to let me know who he owe. Because he don't owe the people that voted for him. He owe the people that gave him the money. Y'all hear me say that all the time. And when the citizens of Chicago said, we don't want any more migrants. We don't want any more illegal migrants. Y'all giving all the money to them, the resources to them. You doing this for them and this and this and them. We want to vote. We don't even want. And then they had to break it down. And all this time went by. Now they come down to the point of saying, well, we want to get rid of this to the sanctuary city shit. We want to get rid of that. And then Brandon Johnson and them did everything they could to keep it off that damn schedule to be voted on. But guess what happened? They had a vote. It was a tie. In Sanctuary City or keep it. It was a tie. There was one vote left, and it was the mayor, Brandon Johnson, the black man with a black family who cares so much about black people, who used the black narrative to get in his position. And guess what he voted? To keep the Sanctuary City the way it is. He was the deciding vote in Chicago. So that means you owe down, bro. It's by design that it's going on that way over there. And you're part of the design. Remember I told y'all yesterday, when y'all talking about phases. We were talking about phases, like the apology in Cincinnati. Well, this is phase 2 of the apology. And I'm like, I ain't seen no, how many phases are they, bro? Can you tell me how many phases we got to look forward to? And then I start thinking to myself. I said, self, I said, what? I said, guess what? I said, what? I said, if I'm not part of the phase, if I don't know how many phases there are, I ain't part of the phase. That means I ain't got nothing coming when they finish with phase, whatever they done with. I'm not part of the plan. Politicians are very transparent to me. They very transparent. You just got to look past the emotional shit that they do to us. Like Tiffany Henyard. We's black out here. We black out. That's how she won her spot. We black out here, they asked to death, all the way to the polls. I wonder how the people feel about her. I wonder how they feel about her. Let's see. Check it.
Fox 32 has information indicating the FBI has launched an investigation into controversial Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Dane Placco has been following allegations of her misspending and joins us now with an update. Dane.
Yeah, we've been reporting for nearly 2 years on allegations of corruption surrounding Henyard in her capacity as Dalton Mayor and Thornton Township Supervisor. And now we've learned from multiple sources that federal agents are in fact interviewing witnesses as part of a possible investigation that may or may not result in charges. Did the FBI agents you talked to seem serious about
very serious
concerns?
Very, very serious. Very.
Lawrence Gardner owns a U-Haul rental and trucking business in South Suburban Dalton and says he went to the FBI several months ago, frustrated that the village of Dalton would not renew his business license. Gardner says he's been harassed and his business raided and shut down by Dalton police. He believes because he refused to make a donation to a civic event sponsored by Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
And I talked to a couple of agents and I explained them what was going on. I gave them all my paperwork to show them what was happening in court and what was happening in Dalton. And they told me they was investigating and they would be in touch with me.
Gardner is one of 6 people who confirmed to Fox 32 that they've been interviewed by the FBI, ranging from Dalton business owners to a former village employee and at least one public official. And we've learned the FBI has been using electronic surveillance as part of its investigation. Agents are asking questions about Henyard's alleged use of taxpayer dollars and resources, including massive spending on out-of-town trips, hundreds of thousands of dollars in police overtime for her personal security detail, using public employees and tax dollars for personal benefit, and holding up licenses to certain businesses like this Dalton restaurant.
I've heard rumors that say, hey, I'm on the wrong team.
Dwayne Wood has been trying to renew the business license for his restaurant for nearly a year. While he has not talked to the FBI, he believes he can't get approved because he's provided catering to several Dalton trustees who are engaged in a political fight with Henyard.
I think I've been just targeted because of my affiliation with a certain group of people. You know, I had the trustees. I've cooked for the trustees.
And in a lawsuit filed by a Dalton towing company, the owner alleges their business license has been held up because, quote, George's Towing's refusal to support or contribute to Henyard's political campaign. In a statement, Dalton trustee Jason House reacted to the news of the FBI's involvement. We welcome any investigation that will bring transparency on how taxpayer dollars are being spent. Our residents deserve this level of financial transparency. We reached out to the FBI, which said it is policy for the agency not to comment on the nature, existence, or non-existence of any investigation that may be occurring. A public relations firm responded on behalf of the mayor, saying neither Henyard or the village of Dalton have received any subpoenas or been contacted by the FBI or any other law enforcement agency. Dawn, back to you.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a famous line from black radio in Cincinnati, and I'm going to say it like this. Those darn Republicans, they're making it hard on black businesses. Oh, my bad. Those aren't Republicans that's making it hard on black businesses in Cincinnati or in Dalton. This is people out of their own city council, their own mayor. These are black businesses that's pretty much being hijacked because they're not donating money. Those darn Republicans. You know what I'm talking about, Ron. It's always the Republican fault, no matter what he say. No matter what he talking. The damn ice. I went to the damn UDF to buy a bag of ice, and it was freezer burn. Those damn Republicans don't know how to put ice in the damn ice maker right. They left the door open, and all the ice, the home city ice, got frozen. It was frozen. It was freezer burn. Them damn Republicans. It's always the Republicans. I got a question. Ron Dula, are you here? I got a question. And it kind of came to me today because I'm homesick, right? I'm homesick. And I heard you had a conversation with the host, okay? I heard the conversation. No attack. Y'all know I don't do nothing personal, nothing like that. But I'm trying to remember exactly where I was in that conversation with you. He finally admitted 3 years, 10 million people later, 10 million illegal immigrants later, that Biden's done a bad job on the border, but he's never mentioned the border in 3 years. Am I correct or incorrect on that, Ron? Now, here's my question to you, Ron. Have you ever thought, now, even if E is on here, he might be able to help me because he was a former employee of the radio station. So maybe E can help me with this question. It's a two-part question. Did they stop doing something at the radio station that kind of took black listeners away and they brought in the Latino audience? Didn't they do something? Didn't the radio station do something and added El Grande or some shit like that? What happened? Can somebody tell me real quick, like in the comment section, or call me and tell me what happened in that split? Didn't the radio station stop doing black something? I don't know if it was black talk shows, black music. Didn't that radio station stop doing something that was black folk and they moved it over to El Grande or El Grado or whatever it was? Didn't they do that? Somebody put that in the screen for me. Because I think I got something to say about that. Ron Dula said one of the hosts, the main host, said she couldn't live in Cincinnati no more after being here for 4 months. She moved back to LA, right? DC says, yep, they took away the buzz on FM and turned it into Mexican station. So now let me try to make a point. Think of what y'all saying. Think about why there may be no. Think about why. And okay, hold on. This is E. E said they took the FM frequency from the buzz and started a Latino music station. Isn't this black owned though? Isn't it a black owned station, right? Damn, all the answers coming all in at the same time. I appreciate them. Thank you. Adrian says it took the buzz off FM and made them AM only. But my point is, didn't they do something? They took something away from us and they brought the Latinos in. They brought the Mexican in, right? Now, let me ask you something from a business perspective. From a business point of view, if we all own the radio station together, you're on the board. If we're on the board and I see an influx of Mexicans coming to this country and they're potential advertisers, they're potential listeners to my radio station, they're going to get my numbers up so my advertising budget will go up. So my money from advertisement will come in. Why would I talk bad about my potential customers? Why would I say them dirty Mexicans coming in here illegal immigration is bad? Why would I say anything? Why wouldn't I go along with travel ban to Florida? Why wouldn't I say everything other than illegal immigration is wrong when I know that's my potential base? I mean, am I off mark here? If we were on a board, if I was the CEO of the radio station of Wyatt Live and y'all were my board and you all were getting, and I was paying y'all residuals off of our advertising, and I said, well, shit, I'm not going to do Wyatt Live anymore. Sorry. I'm about to do essays on I'm about to do essay at Linguada. And I say, sorry. What would you all say to me if I said, well, your check that you're getting for every month for $500 is that on Wyatt Live? I'm giving you $500 a month on Wyatt Live based on your investment. But when I go over here to this El Guando, it's gonna make your shit look like $1,200. But it's gonna take a minute. You still get your $500, but give us about 6 months to a year, and your residuals will go up to about $1,200. That's the guesstimated amount that you'll go. You'll get double plus some. Why would I, as the host of Wyatt Live, why would I degrade or say something bad about my future clientele? Why would I say anything that's detrimental to make me hurt the business? Why would I say anything about the border? Why would I say anything bad about Biden because he's the one that's letting all this shit happen? He's basically a business partner. And then why would I say anything good about Trump, who totally is against immigration, which is going to hurt my bottom line? Why would I say anything bad about my future earnings? I don't know. Maybe somebody can help me. Let's go to the phone lines and find out. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, Wyatt? It's Ambra.
Ambra, what's good with you? How you doing today?
Nothing over here. Lost over here in Cincinnati driving, but I had to call in.
Lost?
Because
the hell?
Yeah, I just came from Columbia, Tuscaloosa with a client, and I'm all trying to follow GPS and lost a little bit, but it's okay. I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay.
But I was calling because you just was talking about, people not wanting to believe the writing on the walls, that we need a little bit more Republican leadership in our cities when dealing with the young African American population. Like, I know everybody want to believe that the Democrats always got the best thing, but when you look at all these major cities, they got all these problems with these out of control Black people. is, guess what? Democrat are the ones that's in charge. And like you just said, they don't care that they causing chaos in these cities, because the people that they were putting back on these streets, they not going to where they live at. They not in Hyde Park. They in the areas where regular people live, and gonna be affected by the foolishness of these fools that they keep letting out on, OR bonds or whatever it is. Like, they just, it's no punishment. It's no consequence, but doing wrong.
Well, there is punishment, but what happens is this. Okay, like, let me just say this to you, Amber. There is going to be punishment for this individual. I think the problem that I have is what all this individual can do until it's time for him to serve his time. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and let me, I get that. I'm sorry, I misspoke. So
No,
he is
I get it.
but under no circumstances should you be out. Your ass, it's just like the little boy that when they jumped on that white guy. Why they talking about he 18, he a senior, he ain't got no problem. That Negro ain't going nowhere in life. Why do you need to go to school when you done just assaulted somebody that didn't do nothing to you? You just randomly attacked somebody and assaulted them. You need to be your behind in jail, and they can bring your schoolwork to jail. Because if you was worried about school, you wouldn't have been jumping on nobody.
Well, you know what? As hard as that is to hear, you're probably right. Now,
yeah,
will he
ridiculous.
Will he ever be anything? He could be. But now,
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna be nothing.
I know.
What I will say you ain't worried about graduating from high school.
No, because number one, you're going to a school where you're on your second and third, maybe possibly your fourth chance anyway. So let's just keep the shit 100. That's the hardest thing for us to do, is to be 100 with one another.
No, everybody want to act like when they the stop and frisk, that was bad. It was bad to some, but guess what? It also kept a whole bunch of this foolishness to a minimum. And for me, like, it's about your safety. It's about, being somewhere where it's safe. And it's like giving people passes just because they the same skin color as you. That is ignorant. My sister just moved back to Cincinnati, or moved back home from Memphis. And like, I literally, my family from Memphis, it's off the damn hook down there. They literally have just shot a pastor in the church parking lot. They took his car and shot him in the face. Like, guess what they are? Young black boys. Like, it's this ain't nobody trying to be discriminatory or being racist against y'all. Y'all the little fools is acting a fool. Like, and guess what? It needs to stop. It really needs to stop.
Well, yeah, I agree. And the argument would be white kids or Latino kids or whatever kids, they do it too. And see,
they do.
Yeah, I know, but
they do.
But my counter to that is
this. We talk about them. We talking about ours.
Exactly.
We taking care of home first. All that. What about them? We'll talk about them. We gonna let they people talk about them. We talking about our own kids.
Yeah, I agree, but that's just a hard conversation to have with somebody that always throws up what other people are doing. I always use my own house as an example, like you would. You wouldn't tell your kid, if you caught your kid stealing at Kroger's, if you had to go pick your son or daughter up at 2020 and you got there and your son and your daughter said, well, the reason I was stealing is because after school every day, all the kids steal from Kroger's. I just happen to be doing it too, but they all do it too. What would you say to your kid?
I'm not worried about them. I'm kicking your ass because you know better.
Right. Now, let me ask you this.
Kid.
Let me ask you this, Amber. You the perfect person. There's a few other perfect people on here that I can ask this to, but you ain't gonna hold back. You'll be honest and tell me the truth. I got this thing about people who look like me doing certain things and other people saying, stop taking what other people do personal. Like, when I hear a story or see a story and it's a brother that does something to somebody, I cringe, because it's not that I'm ashamed or embarrassed of what he did. My argument to that is he just made it bad on somebody else who may be innocent, who looks like him, and you wonder why people treat us or judge us or what do they call it? Profile us. But if you look at it, like that day that brother in Bond Hill got shot in the chair, he got shot in the barber chair.
Oh, the barbershop. Yeah,
Yes, in broad daylight. And the police did an APB out on the shooter. He was a light-skinned brother, 35 years old, with blue pants and a white shirt on. And I looked at myself and I had on blue pants and a white shirt. Now, I wasn't 35, but who's this? The police don't know how old I am. How many brothers are out there with blue pants on and a white shirt, light skin, that's in the age of 35, right around 35? See, what we got to stop doing is acting like we ain't doing shit out here. And when we do shit out here, it's making it hard on all of us. It makes it hard on all of us. And there's just some people that love to have all these, they got all these excuses. They got all these reasons of why, it shouldn't be that way. Well, the first thing,
that's because we have been accustomed to being victims of every damn thing. So you can't hold nobody accountable individually for anything because we just perpetual victims. Like we've been a victim for everything, and it's like sometimes you're a victim from just being around dumb shit or other people that do dumb shit and people don't call it out. Like, I don't want to be around no foolishness. Like, I don't want, like I say it all the time, I don't want to be around no niggas. Keep me around African Americans. I don't like niggas. And I don't care, who said or what. I don't like niggas. I don't like niggas. They bad for my property value. I like African Americans.
Right. Well, I understand. And well, I can say some things about that too, but I'm going to let you handle it. But I mean,
I'm going to say it for you.
Well, I get
and I don't care who said or not.
I get it. But you know what happens is, the people who justify and always want to come to the rescue, they don't even understand that they really the problem. They always want to fix something that's already broke, and instead of replacing it, they want to keep patching up a inner tube that just can't stand no more patches. And instead of just going in and fixing these damn parents, starting at the kindergarten and starting at that point. And here's the thing, Amber, you and I both know the school's been toe up from the flow up since we can remember.
They've been toe up.
You know they've been toe up. And the problem is
they've been toe up.
They've been toe up. They've been toe up since we was there. To be honest with you, it was just a matter of who could go off to the better schools. Yeah, we had a little bit more discipline, but the system has never really.
That's what it is. It's absolutely no discipline for the majority of these children. And it might be like, people, it's because young parents. I was a young parent. I had a baby at 18. Like, no, it don't have nothing to do with no young parent. This is just, we live in a society where people don't like holding people accountable for their actions. And when you allow kids to see adults not being held accountable, and then, it just keep trickling down. But it's like, I'm telling you, like, the summer, me and my husband, we had Kings Island passes. Like, man, I was like looking at these kids with the mama eye, like, why do you not about to be in front of me cussing and acting all crazy? Like, you not gonna do that. Like, I don't care that I'm not your parent. Like, you need to understand, like, I cussed like a sailor when I was a little kid, but we cussed at the park when wasn't no adults around. Like, the boldness and the disrespect of these children is off the chain. It really is. My sister is a assistant principal at what's the name of her
you
school?
Gotta be careful. You gotta be careful talking about these kids, and you can't talk about.
But I'm just saying, like, these kids is off the chain, and like, even though I understand it, some people, they might not have a grandma that got no sense. They might not have nothing that got no sense. But then it used to be that you had people in the neighborhood that can tell you, like my dad died when I was 6. Like, we had a neighbor. If me and my sister was trying to, get our little groove on, have a little gas over the house, man, the neighbor husband used to come up like, yo, mama is not at home. Ain't nobody supposed to be in this house. And we respecting him. We ain't like it. We like, dang, Miss Mario done got us, he done messed up our weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, people looked out for other people's kids, and the kids respected the authority of an adult. These kids is disrespectful as hell. But they ain't gonna never learn no respect because don't nobody like to hurt nobody's feelings. Don't nobody want to make nobody accountable. Don't nobody want to. It's like, it's wild. You can't suspend the kids. You can't, you can't put the parents in jail. But when the kids do something wrong, like, it's just, I don't know what's gonna happen. That you just have to be like, let me keep my kids away from these people and their kids.
Yeah, I mean, let me just say this to you, Amber. The world is what it. Listen, I hate to say this. It's gonna sound elitist. It is what it is, though, right? The bottom line is you just got to leave people where they are. I know that sounds horrible, but it's the truth.
Yep.
And don't get mad.
Absolute truth.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to leave some people where they are. we always gonna have. See, here's the thing: the same folks that's trying to save these kids aren't really attacking what's making these kids what they are today. It's the lack of parenting, and then it's what they absorb every day in today's society. They love Sexy Red. They love the rap music. They love everything that makes them disrespectful. It's their food every day. Social media makes them disrespectful. The jokes, everything that they adopt into today's culture makes them disrespectful. And until we get that cleared up, they're going to stay disrespectful. And then you're always going to have the people that's going to come to the rescue. And then they look like the kings and the queens of the community because they trying to make a difference. No, the fuck you're not. You're adding fuel to the fire. That's what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. You just have to leave some people where they are. And the bottom line is we always going to have some hood people. We always going to have some trailer park people because that's just where they supposed to be. Because they don't know. They're not trying to escalate. They're not trying to be any better or do anything different. And then they may, I feel comfortable in saying this, Amber, because they wouldn't have a problem telling me that I'm sedity. They wouldn't have a problem telling me that
wait a minute, we'll call you uppity, bougie.
That's what I'm saying. So
all
Nick,
this every day.
So okay.
I ain't bougie. I want more.
That's right. So okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, I am all of that. Whatever you say I am, but what I'm not is you.
I be that.
There you go. There you go.
I be that.
I be that. There you go. What else you got,
like
Amber?
I said, that's it. Like I said, I just wanted to call in and just add my little 2 cents. Like I said, these little kids is off the chain though. They really off the chain. But I did not understand what was going on with why they are allowing these people to get to not be held in jail. And then I'm like, I know that we can't just build another jail. I know that's not always the answer, but something gotta give. Something gotta give. We cannot have all this lawlessness and we can't say nothing because they brown.
But here go the thing. Here go the thing, Amber. You're absolutely right. I agree with you. It would be one thing if we were talking about what's the problem in Cincinnati. So now you can't really say that. You got people that want to be heroes and show up for this shit. I want to see you do it nationally, Mr. or Mrs. Hero, because you don't have just this problem in Cincinnati. This is a cultural, this is a problem everywhere. So that tells you that it's not the makeup of the people in Cincinnati. It has to be the makeup of the overall people. Do you get what I'm saying to you?
Yep.
It's not just a group
so
of people.
We got to go through an extreme reprogramming, so that we can get this shit back in order because it's off the chain. It's off the chain. Like it's off the chain.
It is. I mean, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know until it affects them. And I've been, that's my famous line on Wyatt Live. I ain't going to argue or debate with anybody unless you've been affected by what we talking about. Listen, and I'm not going to debate or argue with somebody if I've never been affected by what they talking about. You see what I'm saying? So let's just be fair about it.
Well, you got firsthand knowledge. You got firsthand knowledge when you've been affected by it.
There you go.
But my thing is, why do we have to wait to be affected by it to see no, it's not no conspiracy where white people walking around trying to, tell the black community that we just all bad. No, it's not. It's literally, we just have to take accountability and say, listen, what are these young black guys or these young black boys, what are they into? And what they are into is things that are going to get them into an early death. They into, death music. They into all this stuff and they don't have anything to counter it. They we listen to rap and stuff like that when we was growing up, but we also work. We also, they literally, they are not even afraid to die. They're not even afraid to die. And they are almost it's an honor to die early. And they ain't even willing to die for nothing that not like they going to the military or doing nothing that's gonna help them. It's just stupidity. It literally it's stupid, but it's a mentality. But my thing is we can't just normalize this around the world. And then the people that's made this go crazy is people that look like us. We have to do better.
Let me ask you something.
I got 2 black sons.
Let me ask you something. And I got 2 black daughters that my daughter she drove over to Norwood today to do some paperwork at the hospital. And every time I think my daughter think I'm nuts, Amber, because every time they say they're going somewhere, I get this vision in my head and I just say, hey, look, be careful. Okay. They must think I'm nuts because I keep telling them to be careful, but I think I'm just a little bit more protective, because I'm the dad. But now, let me ask you something. Quick thing. Did you see that video of Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump? They're shooting pool and they're trying to get some policy done in America. Guess what it is? Guess what they want to do now?
No, I ain't see that.
I know.
What?
This shit about to be crazy. It's about to rock your socks. Check this out. Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton, perm in a suit, are trying to work with policymakers to level down crime because they think the reason why, they think the reason why crime is up in our community, Christy Winger said I did. Did you see it, Christy? They think the reason why crime.
Share it in the chat.
I will. I'll send it to the Wyatt Live Messenger group. They think the reason why crime is so high in the black community is because of the level of crimes that they make, like they criminalize in everything that we do. That's what make it criminal for black folks. Like, it shouldn't be a crime to do certain things because they're just messing with our culture. You see what I'm saying? And I gotta
but
share
if the culture is violent, then we can't normalize it.
But you know what?
I'm so sick of perm in the suit and all that.
I know. Here's what I'm gonna do before I get into talking about that, because I don't know enough. Like, I just happened to glimpse past it, and I said I'm gonna do a show on it. I haven't run it enough for me to be able to talk about it. But I promise you, I'll do it probably this week. How about that? So listen up closely.
Okay, and I'll have to watch.
Yeah, because
I'll have to watch because I'm not in the messenger group, but I ain't never seen this.
The video is them shooting pool, and they talking about what we got to do is we got to get crime down because, and the reason why crime is so rampant in the black community is because everything we do seems to be criminalized. They put all the things we do in the criminal books. You got to see it. So what they're trying to do is de-escalate crime by making some of the things that what we see as criminal now, making it legal. You see what I'm saying? And see, that's dumbing shit down. You know what I'm saying? Our expectation.
And that's the whole thing is that black people, we really need to stop falling for the okie doke. We are not stupid, but we are emotional and we get all caught up. Al Sharpton ain't been on the side of black people since forever. Like, he hasn't. Like, he is self-serving. He's self-serving and he's trying to still be relevant. But like you just said, maybe an hour ago, you said, I'm more worried about these fools knocking my head off, locally than some crazy white man drugging me and all that. And I'll be cracking up. Like, when I be in my salon, you have no idea how many African-American women over the age of 60 have bit into this racist, all white people, whitey trying to keep me down. And you like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Why do you think that is the only thing that white people wake up every day and they trying to get them some black folks to put them back on the plantation? I'm like, I say it all the time. I said, well, y'all voting for Trump, y'all voting for these Republicans. I said, no, what they gonna have y'all back in chains. I said, they can't have you back in chains when you have a gun. You think somebody gonna go pick cotton when you have a weapon? You think like what are you talking about? Like, these young people ain't trying to listen to their mom and their grandma. They not about to be no damn slaves. They not gonna, like, slave. You can't scare people who got some sense with slavery or any type of racist. No, you cannot. Because guess what? We not going. It don't matter if they come up with some type of law or whatever. We ain't going. You can't take my house when I pay for it and I got a mortgage. Like, what you gonna do? But the fear that they put in people, and you be like, just calm down and think. Be rational. That is so far-fetched that you like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm 43 almost, and maybe I ain't been traumatized enough by civil rights, but it's something about that demographic over 60 that they be like, we gotta go with the Democrats above anything because civil rights and slavery. And you like, what? So you agree that this is terrible and this is not self-serving. This is not helping you, but you rather, cut your nose and spite your face because you just can't be with the Republicans because they're gonna put you back in the cotton field. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say that a 60 plus year old, I could see being more engaged with racist activities by white folks and them continuously talking about
And I
it.
can
could
see that too, but you have
But
to, if you 60 in your 20s, what you could get in your, or what you could do in your 20s, that's no longer happening. You can't be stuck in the past like that.
well, you
That's
can't
crazy.
you can if they're teaching you that, if the narrative is that, just like Joe Biden told that black, the black graduating class over at Howard just last year.
The number one thing they need to be
Yeah, he said the number one
afraid of,
the number one thing
is white supremacy.
Yeah, I mean come on, man.
And it's all people with degrees.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And they like, yep, that's right. I said, yeah, I got an associate's degree. But if I had a damn GED, I know that don't make no sense.
Well,
it don't make no sense.
Right. Well,
That's why they got all these folks coming from the southern border coming over here. They like, well, it's been broken forever. That don't mean this is, you don't think this is crazy that we got these people walking in here. We have no idea who these people are. They just had on the news what the college student that got killed by somebody who was here illegally. Yeah, because he probably is a damn murderer, and we don't even know who these people are, because y'all think as long as Biden or anybody Democratic have anything to do with it, the Democrats are the voice of reason or the party of caring about people, or they was the civil rights. And he's like, no, it doesn't matter. All these people don't need to be here. They just don't. We need to pause and don't send no money to nobody. We got our own issues here in our country that we need to work out. We need to bring these taxes down. Like we just was going back and forth on Facebook in our Facebook group, and I'm gonna get off real quick. Let me say this, but like, I do real estate too, but like, okay, everybody's property taxes went up, but they're trying to get us to vote on a levy that's gonna make our taxes go up again to help the schools. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Why we keep getting all this money when the property taxes went up a couple months ago, that don't affect the schools. That don't even make no sense. So now you want my taxes to go up twice in 1 year.
It affects
because
the
the first one didn't cover the school. That's crazy.
It affects the school. My property taxes clearly show what amount of money is going towards Cincinnati Public School. It says it on the breakdown.
I'm telling you, Wyatt, and I have to inbox you and show it. The first one with the property taxes, they did something with the mills out in Fairfield, and it doesn't. Like, basically, it keeps the money that was going to the schools. It's the exact same amount. It's not that it went up, even though our property taxes went up. So now they got a separate levy that they want us to vote on so that we can increase the extra money for the schools. And I'm like, absolutely not. No, I don't care. I'll take mine to school. I'm not worried about it. You can't keep stretching people's pockets thinner and thinner because y'all mishandling some money somewhere. Figure it out. But you can't get no more money from me.
All right. All right, sis. Well, I appreciate the call, Amber. Thank you for calling in.
All right, have a good one. Hope you feel better.
I'm working on it. Talk to you, sis.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
My bad. That was Amber, y'all. I think people, like, I read a comment that there's a lot of comments going across the screen. I think what happens is, I think sometimes, Emmanuel, you get it a little, I don't know how to say this without blowing it all out of proportion. But when you say does people think there's no racism in America anymore? I think we all know that there's racism and there's always going to be racism. But do we have 1962 or 1942 or 1935 or 1927 racism today? No, we don't. Can you give me a case that you've dealt with, educate me. Have you dealt with anything in the last 10 years that you could say was racist that stopped you from prospering in this country? What can you not do that white people can do? I'm just curious. And when we always say, and when you leave it so broad, oh, there ain't no racism in this country. Well, of course we know there's racism, but racism don't stop you from doing anything. If that was the case, you wouldn't have 10 million motherfucking Mexicans and Asians and all these people, Guatemalians and all these people coming over to this country, because why do they see more opportunity than you see? You don't think they know that there's some form of racism in America, but it ain't gonna stop them because they coming. I mean, let's be honest. And if you really look at the racism that's going on, look where it begins. It begins in our own community, if you want to call it racism. See, I don't call it racism nowadays. I call it classism. Look at our schools. Who run our schools? Your schools is the foundation of where you're going in life. Whether it's a university, whether it's a trade school, whether it's going to school to do hair, whether it's to go to culinary school, to cook, to do anything in life, there has to be a level of education set up for you to prosper in this life. And when you don't even have a community that values it, we can't continue to call it racism, because that's not what it is. Now, did I just say there's no racism? No. Because Billy Bob down in Mississippi don't give a shit about black people, that ain't stopping me from doing nothing. Or because you got this white ass prosecutor, that ain't stopping me from doing nothing. A prosecutor only prosecutes a crime that you committed. He didn't force you to make a crime happen. A prosecutor is after the fact of whatever you've done. A prosecutor don't stop you. He or she don't have nothing to do with your truancy in school. The prosecutor don't have nothing to do with these parents not making their kids go to school. And then when you throw a broad question up there like that, oh, ain't no racism. So racism is the answer, is the reason why we love Sexy Red? Racism is the reason why Sexy Red and Cardi B are pillars in our community, because they got a bunch of money, but y'all don't even hear their lyrics. You don't hear what our kids are admiring. And we blaming white folks for the shit we ingest? Oh, no. Sorry, bro. If it was 1942 and we couldn't vote, if we were still counting jelly beans and shit and soap bubbles and stuff like that, I would probably agree with you. Sorry. But when you got people like the guy on the radio that said what he said today, like, you perpetuate racism. One of the things that was on the radio today that I heard, and I'm like, see, this is the shit I'm talking about. Elon Musk has a company, I'm assuming it was his Tesla company or one of the hundreds of companies that he run. And for Black History, somebody, we don't even know who it was, ordered 200 or 300 pies from a Black-owned company. We don't know who it was. We don't even know if it actually happened. Ordered 200 or 300 pies. The guy on the radio says, see, look at how they do Black businesses. Look at how they do Black businesses. Elon Musk then ordered 200 or 300 pies from a Black-owned company, and then he canceled them at the last minute. See, that's angertainment, bro. We don't have any details. We don't know who ordered them. We don't know if it was the one Black person in the company that ordered the shit from their cousin who got a pie company. We don't know any of the details. But what you'll put out there is Elon Musk did the Black community wrong during Black history because he canceled his pies. What? We don't even know if Elon Musk and them actually ordered the pies. We don't know what happened. We don't know if they had a signed contract, if they had an agreement. You don't know none of that. But what you have to put out there is Elon Musk, look what he did. He ordered a bunch of pies from a Black-owned company. Look how he did it. And now them Black people had to go out and get all their sugar and all their pie stuff. And they had to make all them pies. And they bought all of what they needed. And they got stuck with it. Well, if they was doing business properly, who do you know order 200 pies, 300 pies from somebody and not get a deposit? Who do you know that don't pre-order and prepay for 200 or 300 pies. That don't even sound right. That don't even sound right. But there's a crowd. There's a crowd that they love to be entertainment every day. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
The twin, man.
Twin, what's good?
Man, your show gets very interesting every time I call, man. I wish you had 4-5 lines open, but
I know
it
I
is
only
what
got
it is.
one,
We
bro.
gonna work with it. It's the hood. It's the hood. We gonna work with it.
Okay.
Hey, man. Yeah, man. I was listening to you. What they do that every 2-3 years and stuff with the buzz and stuff like you were saying. It was on what 105.1.
I
They
don't know.
switched to 1230 and yeah, I remember it was like that. Then they put the Mexicanos in and everything. They want to get on the radio. Man. It's crazy. And then I'm like, if it's black owned and you're a big time person, what's her name, Kathy Hughes? Why you letting this stuff go down like this? You got the money and the power, whatever you say you got. Why you letting switch to AM? We want to hear some FM because you ride through the tunnel and all that. Our AM probably don't work good as our FM.
That's true.
And people don't look at it like that, man. You out there in the sticks and everything, doing your routes, whatever you do. Man, this show getting good, man. What's wrong with my state? Now you got to go all the way to the inner city just to get a satellite or whatever antenna working again.
Yeah. Well,
Black
I
folks
don't
for
know.
you, man.
I don't know what happened. I don't know, but it says a lot when you move from you're a black owned radio, whatever, and then you stop your black listeners situation, and then you go to Mexican, and I'm
And it
saying
seems like it happened every year. I mean, every other year though. If you look at it, why? When what was it? Jerry Todd and all them was on there. They was getting good. Next thing you know, it's a whole ball game. Everybody did a 360 going here, going there. Now we got a Mexican state. Hey, I thought y'all was on 10 because I was low. I'm like, oh, they on 1230 Buzz. And I'm like, dang, that was quick.
yeah.
So every year,
but
because
twin,
Lincoln went from
Let me ask you this: it wouldn't make any sense for them to talk bad about Mexicans and illegal migrants, would it? Because that's
not
their,
right now.
That's their base,
Not
right?
Yeah,
So
right.
why do you
and
expect?
I remember,
Why would you expect them to say anything about Joe Biden and the immigration? Why would you expect them to say anything good about Donald Trump, who wants to end illegal immigration? Why would you expect anything for them to say anything other than something bad about somebody and stay away from the issues at hand?
right, like the Mexicans. Remember back in the day, Wyatt, if you ever worked at a warehouse, whatever. Remember back in the day when it get cold, the Mexicans go back home. They allowed them to go back home and come back.
I didn't.
You remember? I don't know if they did it down here in Cincinnati, but Illinois or whatever. It get cold around this time, especially December, January. They'll go back. The jobs will let them go back and stuff for relief and everything. They'll let them come back. I mean, immigrants been coming in and out and stuff. So what's the problem? Now, what y'all can't get y'all drug thing going through the pipeline heavy like y'all used to? Y'all got El Chapo locked up or whatever. It is what it is, man. For the leaders, I don't call them Reverend Al Sharpton because I don't never see you preach at a sermon nowhere. You and Crump and the rest of you coonies out there ain't number collecting a lawsuit check. That y'all not black for the black people, man. Ever since Martin Luther King died and Fred Hampton and every rest of all of them died, man, the torch ain't been passed to nobody, man. Y'all Uncle Sam. When that Pope came to New York years ago, you had a chance to talk to him and what's up with these kids and stuff, raping and everything else. No, but you know what? You was nowhere to be found, man. See, you come when the storm is over and stuff. I don't, get down with dude like that, man. And just like when Farrakhan years ago, back in 2000, when he had put all the rappers together and stuff, he said, y'all got cussing, calling them bees and hoes and everything else. But when y'all go stop it and stuff, they don't care about this. This started when Chief Keef and all them came up and stuff. I mean, we was doing our thing. We had a preacher who was getting money heavy back in 98 and everything, even though we were doing little gang banging, but we had a peace treaty. Hey, man, we can't do that and everything in Chicago. Then what happened after that? Oh, we ain't breaking this up. The white man jumped in. We gonna take the Strongs out. They took the strong leaders out because if you did something stupid, it was a violation, man, regardless of anything. Then now they took the leaders out. Now here come Chief Keaton them. They about to hype it up now. Jews pockets fat as hell. Now, they can stop it and everything. They can go in there and stop it, but they not gonna stop it. Chief Keaton them, when they was T.I. was mad when they came down there and they brought that drummer from Chicago. And then them BDs told him, hey, you better shut up and mind your business. I don't care who you is. You see, T.I. ain't spoke nothing about it, man. No more after King Von death. They told him, man, his business, shut up. He said, well, y'all bring that Chicago stuff, man, mind your business and stuff. So you got people that's heavy in the rap game and all that can stop it. But Chief Keaton ain't about to stop that. Now they got to have somebody strong now to come out like King Von or whatever, because King Von, he was wrecked, man. And they know it, man. He had to opt that boy because he was strong. Yeah, that's how it is now today, man. That Sexy Red, I don't like that girl no way because she on some other. And then my little daughter was singing that last year, and I said, you better stop or I'll punch you in your throat and stuff. Quit doing that. No, you don't listen to that little girl. I say, you listen to the lyrics she's saying, watch this. Tell her what she say. Yeah, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. She don't even make no sense. That's why I don't like listening to rap today, Wyatt. I listen to old school, man. Yeah, and everything, old school music. I don't listen to that because you're lying, man. You ain't never shot a grade. Stop it, man. Yeah. Up here pump faking and stuff. Come on, man. And you put it on the nation and all that. Come on, you disrespect. That's a violation right there. That's why I don't listen to that stupid stuff. I'm going to put my thumb in your butt and all that. And I'm going to rape your daughter 17. And, man, what lyrics you speaking about?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, you know what, Twin? Let me say this. The difference between when we were in rap coming up is you had to watch Rap City. It was on TV.
The basement, all that, man.
Yeah. And they had to, they had to be somewhat, even if it was dirty, they had to clean it up. They had to do the edited version or whatever.
They had remember the Uncut Raw at 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock?
I remember that.
Remember that tip drill, the real tip drill?
Yeah. But today,
Nelly.
but today, Twin, you have so many different media outlets, independent media outlets on YouTube and things of that nature, where these videos, they can shoot a raw ass X-rated video that matches the words and show it to anybody, and kids are vulnerable to that type of stuff.
And they go get up and to walk Tootsie and all that extra stuff, man.
It's horrible.
That's why if they want to really stop this, man, the Democrats, if y'all for the black people like y'all so-called say y'all is, put a stop to it, man. Put a stop to it. Because right now, that orange man over there winning. And if he beat that Georgia case, whatever, it's over. It's over for y'all, man, because y'all stupid. And stuff, Democrats, go vote for me. And that's why I don't get into that stuff, man, because they be lying, man. Quit lying. Tell the truth and shame the devil, man. It's stupid how y'all sit up there and lie to the folk. Come in there and steal the votes and everything else. Oh, I'll see y'all in 4 more years. Come on, man. Stop playing with your panties, man. Get up out of here with that extra stuff. It's crazy. Why all this stuff? And then, like you said, Coon and ass Johnson. You probably doing something on the low, man. You say you go help the crime and all that. And I hate when y'all say, I'm going to stop the crime. I'm going to cut tax. You ain't did shit but raising tax. How you go from $3.30 to gas, then $3.50 back down? Man, stop playing, man. You're lying. Yeah. That's why I don't get into that stuff, man. We need somebody young, who's strong, who's gangster, man. I don't know what it is today, but we need somebody strong. I be wanting to get up there and do it, but I ain't into that stuff, man. But it's the leaders that's here now, man. You say you for us and NAACP and extra civil rights leader, whoever y'all with, who say y'all is and so.
Well, I certainly haven't.
Why you think the black folks crying in Chicago, New York, and all that? 63 million.
I certainly haven't seen Al Sharpton or NAACP.
Hell no, man. You ain't gonna see.
I haven't seen either one of them do a travel ban to Illinois or to Chicago yet because of how black folks are being treated in that state. I haven't seen them do a travel ban to New York. See, they pick and choose based on the narrative that they wanna push, and it's pretty obvious.
But right, let your cousin you ain't know from 3rd generation get killed, and he feel like you can get 3 million out of. He go shoot down there real quick, right?
Yeah.
Somebody you ain't never. That's my cousin. I knew him 20 years ago, but he go jump on that case for that money. That's not right, man. That's not right. What y'all doing? And you say you a rapper? You better stand on that name when you say you're a reverend. You better stand on that name, man, because I don't believe nothing you say, man. I don't. It's stupid how they operate around here, man. Night, and you wonder why the black community messed up. You church leaders messed it up, and you politicians messed it up because you allowed the stuff to come in. We was doing fine. Even though we had to come up or whatever, we was doing fine. I know how to kill a black community. Put the dope up in there. And that we fell for it, got it and stuff. Oh, they go kill each other and everything. Cause that territory got more than that territory. But that's how life is, man. It's a game. You win some, you lose some. Hope you see another day.
All right, twin. Hey,
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate you calling, brother, and giving us. You vent. You definitely vent. You let us know what it is.
Hey,
on
what's
your
up
mind.
with Shawty up in they locked her out White?
Say it again.
Shawty, they locked her up out in Dalton and stuff.
Oh no,
You
I
was
don't
talking
know.
about the other day.
I don't know if they locked her up yet. She's under federal investigation.
I mean say locked her up out of her office.
Oh no, she locked somebody out of their office. The records keeper.
That's the mayor that was taking the money, right?
Yeah. I don't know if she's taking money, if she stole money, but
she was doing it, whatever. But she put the change on the lock like Joe Clark, huh?
Yeah. She do some different stuff, bro. She
Wow.
But all I'm gonna say is you get what you vote for. Your leadership determines what your community look like. And that's why you got suburban.
Now you preaching,
that's
right?
why you
now
got
you preach.
that's why you got suburban black people that live in certain areas that do well. They ain't no different. They ain't no less black than a black person from the inner city. We all from the same spot. We just choose to do different things. And if we choose to live in a nicer area, we choose to keep it up too. So it ain't no one better than the other. We just choose different. And that's the bottom line. If I don't understand, you as good as your leadership. And if your leadership ain't no good, you got to find new leadership. And that's why our schools and all our communities are trash. And I ask you, why are some of the community? I know a lot of black. Look, my neighborhood is predominantly minorities, and I mean Indian to black to all of us different Hispanic. We all, it's nice. We cut our grass. Everything is Gucci. But I'm just saying, like, you can't say that your leadership don't play a part, because if we do something out here wrong, if something is on, like if our roof is blowing off or some shit, they might give you 30 days to get your shit together before you get a letter in the mail like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? What, I mean, you know what I'm saying? What's happening? Your beautification. We got to keep our shit in order. You don't see trash on the street. You know what I'm saying? You just don't do that, because when we see something, we pick it up. It's the choice. It's what you want to do with yourself, man. You are what your leadership provides you. And if your leadership don't care, you ain't going to look like you care.
Well, tell me this, why they always say education?
What do
you
you
get the education money from what? The lottery and government and all that? How much education go put up in there? And you ain't solved nothing yet, man.
Wait a minute.
When them leaders and politicians, when you talked about it earlier, everything, when they say education.
Okay. I'm trying to understand what do you mean when you say why they keep saying education? What you mean?
I'm saying when a politician come up with this education and stuff, we go fund the schools and all that. How you go fund something when you tearing it down?
Oh, they talking shit. They talking shit. Those are talking
And when you fund it, you put the homeless people in there, the immigrants and all that. A building been shut down 100 years. Here come open and stuff. How you gonna educate somebody?
See, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know what you're talking about, twin, because they don't know what's going on in Chicago. They don't know what.
It ain't right. It's just not in Chicago, man. It's everywhere. Once the Midwest heated from Chicago, New York, them big cities, it floods down.
I know.
Just like we go up in there and steal in the mall and all that, go crash and hit them Apple store. Why you think Cincinnati jumped on? Oh, they doing this in Chicago. They get on their social media. We can do this now and see what happened in Kenwood. Now got the Gucci store and all that last year.
Right, I understand. Whatever you see happen in a big city, if they get away with it, it's just bound to hit your city sometime soon. Trust me. And that's what's happening. I said the same thing, twin, about those the street takeovers. When I said what I said, people was like, "Oh, you just talking shit." I said, "No, this is going on in Chicago."
What you talking about? Street takeover when they
doing circles
when they were stealing people's cars?
No, when they were doing the donuts out in the middle of the street, doing all that.
Right, I knew it was coming here. That happened 2-3 years in Chicago. I said, look at these clowns. I said, they just not jumping on this and everything. Because I seen it down there when I went down. I was like, what dude doing? He just took off and did a donut and I'm like, man, we used to do that on 95th and everything back in the day for a title though. Putting up that title, I'll race you and everything in that bike.
Yeah.
Man, come on, this old new. I mean, you know, technology on train that days is new gang now, new generation, man. But I just hope, man, somebody that's strong get these kids together. Because that medicine you putting on them is not gonna work. Because Wyatt, remember back in the day, man, if you ain't go to school, either the truant officer saw you or the next door neighbor, and they go question what you doing out of school. Ain't no get your ass in the house right now till your mama come. And then don't have nobody in that house and stuff. Put Jenny in there and stuff. I'm telling your mom, Jenny, go home. Yeah, that's how it used to be back in the day, man. It ain't like that no more. Do they got truant officers in school still? Or they took them out?
I don't think they have truant officers.
They call them special counselors now. I forget.
I think there's something
special advisors.
Yeah, something of that nature. All right, twin, I got to move on.
All right, man, motherfucker. All right, be safe, man.
Talk to you soon. Thanks for engaging with us. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Talk to you soon. That's twin, y'all, from Chicago. I know what he's talking about. I was a little lost for a second when he said something about this. Why do they keep talking about the school and they putting kids in the schools that have been abandoned? I think twin he thinks Chicago. They're not quite doing that in Cincinnati yet. They've been doing it in Chicago. They've been doing it in New York. And like I told you a year ago, or maybe even longer than that, I said what happens in these big Midwest cities like Chicago, those are kind of like test markets. And if it does well, or if they go over with it, it's going to float into some of our cities. It's going to hit us. It's going to hit Milwaukee. It's going to hit, Columbus, Ohio. It's going to hit some of these bigger, other cities, metropolitan cities. And, you got to start somewhere, and they usually start where there's more money to get that shit off on. And like Chicago, they have that kind of money to do it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. That's pretty much it for me. I'm so sick right now. I really don't feel like it. I don't know if I'm sick like a cold or if it's sinuses or what the hell is going on, because I don't have a temperature. And I was supposed to take my medicine at noon. I'm taking this Dayquil shit. I'm taking Dayquil, and I was supposed to take it at noon. I should have took it before I came on the air, but I didn't want to have that taste in my mouth or whatever. I didn't want to do it before I went on the air. So I was like, that's all right. I'll do it right after the show, because I'm going to do a short show, maybe an hour, and then I'll come right back. You know what I'm saying? I'll do a 1 hour show and then take my medicine and get back into bed. I am going to be here Friday. I said I wasn't, but I'll be in Florida on Friday. I'm leaving. I'll know after the show. So tomorrow's show, I'll be able to tell you exactly when I'll be on, or when I'm leaving, and then I'll let you know if I'll be on Friday. I'm either going to leave Thursday night or Friday morning. Either way, I'll just come to you live from the house in Florida. That's what I'll do. I'm actually beginning to enjoy the Wyatt Live show. I'm actually beginning to enjoy it. What I've learned in podcasting and radio, and I don't want to say TV, I've never done television or anything, is when you have these opinionated shows, I used to sit back and listen to other people's shows, and I used to just be like, people don't believe that shit, do they? Like, I really used to like trip out, and I think I've learned a lot over the years. I used to just be an advocate listener of shows, excuse me, and I used to just listen to the points and, whatever they were talking about, and I would say to myself, I can't believe people think like that. I can't believe people agree with what that person just said. And what I've learned is, just because people are saying it, just like in my case, but I'm saying in others, just because somebody is saying what they're saying on the radio or on a podcast, that don't mean everybody that's listening agrees. I had to learn that. I had to learn that some people listen, just like this show. There are people that just don't agree with what I'm saying, but they on here every day and they listening. And there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I had to come to reality and say that, see, I'm I'm not really cut like that. Like if I hear some shit talked about and I hear a bunch of people talking about it and I don't agree with it, I'm not going to soak up all of that. I'm not going to sit around and sit down and obtain all that information that I'm hearing that I feel is ridiculous. Yeah, I mean that's just me. I don't have a memory. I don't have a mind for that. You know, I'm not built like that to sit back and listen to how this I don't agree with all. I don't do that. But then I used to listen to certain things and then I would just be like I would cut it off because I would be like there's no way people think like that. I had to learn it just to settle down, Wyatt. Settle down. Listen to it. And just because callers are calling in and saying what they say and it matches what they're talking about, that don't necessarily mean that everybody that's listening, because y'all got to understand, I get less calls than anybody that's in my region, that's in our area, from the Cincinnati area. Everybody does better, not better, but everybody does more calls than me. They're all been doing it a lot longer than I have. But one thing I can tell you for sure is a lot more people listen and watch than call in on my show. And I can say that for the other shows as well. We only get a 2%, 2 to 3% of people who call and engage. Like literally call the show and say something. You know what I'm saying? And say something about what you're talking about. And if you notice on some shows and most shows, it's always the same people. So I had to really learn that just because somebody, including myself, is talking about something, everybody that's listening don't agree. They don't agree. They may be big enough to listen to your opinion and fall back and just be like, okay, I hear you, but I don't fuck with that. And then there's some people that are, you know, they'll call and engage in what you're saying and all that and will agree. And there's not too many people that will call and disagree. So from the outside looking in, if you're watching the show and you hear all these calls coming in and they all matching what the host is talking about, you can be fooled. You can be fooled to believe that base agrees with that host on every topic. I'm going to show you something. One day, I'm going to do a show and I'm going to show you how podcasts has changed. It took me, here's another learning lesson that I had. I have to watch younger folks, half my age, do podcasts talking about the same shit that I'm talking about and what they talking about on the radio. And I had to learn that there are younger people. Who was that? Was that Amber who said, I can't believe these 60-year-olds be talking that shit and be saying how, racist white white people. I have to listen to people my children's age, a little older than my children, 20, 25-ish. And I have to listen to their point of view of this world. And it ain't like ours. Oh, it's not like anybody that's 40 on up, because y'all know I'm 40. Who said something? It's not like ours. Children of today see America a little bit different than their elders. And I mean us. They don't. Somebody mentioned show, I think it was Ron Dula may have mentioned the show, The Cartier Family. Those young brothers. It's like 4 or 5 of them that sit around and talk about the issues and the topics, and they weigh politics. They weigh, Fannie Willis and all these they weigh all these issues that we're talking about. And it's easy for us old heads to sit back and equate everything we talk about to racism. But the younger folks don't quite do that. They have a whole different approach. And when you bring up racism in the arguments and different this and that, they be tripping. It's not the same. See, here's what I believe racism has become. The little white kids who are racist have been taught to be racist. I don't think anybody's born racist, right? But here's my other philosophy of racism. Little black kids have been taught racism too. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't mean it to the point of them being racist towards white people. I mean, listening to people like the Cartier family, you listen to their point of views and their perspectives on some of these issues, and the way they adapt to some of these ways, they think a little clearer. They look past it just being a racist problem. They methodically think shit out. And I say to myself, that's a generation that's not stuck in how they've been taught. It's hard to explain. Because it's hard to explain to a person. You can't tell a woman or a man or anybody that's been in an abusive relationship. You can't tell them if they've been in 2 or 3 relationships that's been abusive. You can't tell them abusive relationships don't happen. They can be in a beautiful relationship right now where the husband or the wife don't put hands on them and they've been together for 10 years. And this new man that they have in their life has never struck her, never said anything foul to her. That lady will always believe abusive relationships exist because of what she went through her last 2-3 relationships. She got shit knocked out of her. But the moral to my story is this. Racism is a taught behavior. Racism is a taught behavior. And it's taught 2 separate ways. It's taught to hate a person and think that you're better than the person. And it's also taught that the reason why you didn't do something is because it's a racist world. That's a taught behavior as well, whether we want to believe it or not. One of the things I've never taught my daughters, and you've heard me say this before, you've heard me say it a few times. I will never tell my daughters, you got to be 10 times better than them. Why would I do that? Why would I tell my daughters, you got to be 10 times better than somebody to succeed? Because soon as my daughter fail, which they're going to fail at something. They're going to fail plenty of times if they built like me any kind of way. But the first time they fail, they got a built-in racism because I told them they got to be 10 times better than somebody. And that built-in mechanism will tell them the reason why they failed and couldn't make it is because of racism. You don't have to believe me. You only got 70 years of proof. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 1 o'clock.
It was one of the worst performances I've seen in my life. I couldn't sleep last night because I felt this shit.
Your detox, my calling is right on time. Transformation, I must have 1,000 lives and like 3,000 wives. You should know that I'm slightly off fighting off demons that been outside. Better known as myself, I'm a demigod. Every thought is creative, sometimes I'm afraid of my open mind. Shit on my mind and it's heavy. Tear you in pieces cause it's way too heavy. My diamonds, the joker is heavy. More life to give on demand, are you ready? Who keep them honest like us? Who in alignment like us? Who gotta heal them or us? Us, when there's no one to call. Meditation, my spirit's awakened, my brain is asleep. I got a new temperature, sharpening multiple swords in the faith I believe. I think about Robert Kelly. If he were molested, I wonder if life for Felly. I wonder if Oprah from Closure, the way that she posted the hurt that a woman carries. My mother abused young, like all of the mothers back where we from. SSI bury family members. At the repast, they serving Popeye's chicken. What you know about black trauma? Heffing is kicking back. It's another genre. Tyler Perry, the face of 1,000 rappers using violence to cover what really happened. I know somebody's listening. Past life regressions to know my conditions is based off experience. Karma for karma, my habits insensitive. Watching my cousin struggle with addiction, then watching her firstborn make $1 million, and both of them off the grid for forgiveness. I'm sacrificing myself to start the healing, and shit on my mind and it's heavy. Tear you in pieces cause it's way too heavy. My diamonds, the joker is heavy. More life to give on demand, are you ready? Who keep them honest like us? Who in alignment like us? Who gotta heal them or us? Us, when there's no one to call us? Us.
Say, hydrate, it's time to heal. Say, you're frustrated, I can feel. Huddle up, tie the flag, call the troops, holler back. Huddle up, tie the flag, call the troops, holler back.
Taken over by this pain body because this energy field that almost has a life of its own, it needs to periodically feed on more unhappiness.